Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to another PokeMondays. My name is Matt Fisher. You can call me Fish. And this has actually been the first time we've been live for a few weeks, as I've been doing sort of pre-recorded PokeMondays, as we've had quite a lot of editing to do, as there's a few videos to come out. But we are back, and hello to everybody in the chat, because today we're going to be doing something a little bit different as well, because we're not doing what we would normally do, which is a stream based around a particular expansion of Pokemon trading card game. It's actually two expansions that are linked but not the same, if that makes sense. It doesn't quite make sense, but essentially we're going to be doing the Shining Fates expansion, which is the one that we call in the West, and then we're also going to be doing the Shiny Star V expansion, which is technically the Japanese equivalent, but it's not exactly the same. There are differences between the two, but essentially we should see some sort of correlation between the two expansions. I don't know how much correlation. We'll get to that at some point, because obviously when we do these streams, I normally have a physical card list in front of me so that I can look through and see what cards are in a particular expansion. I don't believe that exists for Shiny Star V, or I haven't been able to find it, so I do have a digital one up, which I might need to refer to when we get to that one. But we're going to start off with the English language version, the Western version, the Shining Fates one. And of course, there is going to be a particularly desirable Charizard to get this, one of three that of my favourite designs, which we failed to find any so far. We did Darkness Ablaze and couldn't find the normal full art version of that Charizard. We did Champion's Path, didn't find the rainbow version of it. Excuse me. But there is a shiny Charizard version of it. By that I mean the black, purpley coloured Charizard. So it's a shiny card in Shiny Star V and Shining Fates. Shiny. Which of course, that is why Steve is with us. Steve has not been that lucky. He is meant to be our lucky Charizard. He's only really found the one in the Celebrations set. Other than that, he's been kind of Steve the unlucky Charizard. So, this is sort of his last chance to try and find one of those, because this is where, like I say, there were four expansions where the Charizard hunting was serious. It was Celebrations, where we found one eventually after opening about 98 packs, Champion's Path, which we didn't find, Darkness Blaze, which we also didn't find, and this one. So this is your last chance, Steve, to prove yourself. Although we do have a few packs of Darkness Blaze left for another different type of stream. It's not going to be a Darkness Ablaze themed stream, but you know what I mean. You know, you don't know what I mean, because you don't know what I've got planned, but I know what I mean. Hey Shane, hey Travis, how you doing? So, obviously, the place that we normally start with these streams is with the Elite Trainer Box. If you haven't been on one of these streams before, I will explain briefly why that is. And that is because not only does this give you a good idea of what you can expect in each expansion, you also get a card list, so you can actually go through and see what you're chasing, and I can show you the Charizards that we're chasing as well. So, we're going to quickly open this up. Now, I believe this is one of the ones where you do actually get a promo card. Like I said, I've said this on a few different streams. With these Elite Trainer Boxes, it used to be standard that you would get 10 booster packs, and then you would also get a promo card guaranteed inside. However, it has sort of changed over recent, I don't even know if it's years, more recent months, that these only contain 8 booster packs and no promo card. I'm guessing that's a cost thing. I don't really know. So before we open this up, like I say, it's never that tall. A lot of it is just packaging. But before we open that up, and try not to hit the microphone with the box, we're just going to have a quick look through this of what you can expect as we're going through this today. So obviously the EVV Max, that is supposedly the card that we're going to get in the Elite Trainer Box, so we'll get to that in a bit. Now this is, it's not technically a Sword and Shield set, but it is the Sword and Shield generation, so obviously the thing for this expansion is V and VMAX cards. What am I doing right now, Travis? I'm opening Pokemon cards. So yes, so even though it's not actually branded as a Sword and Shield expansion, but it is the Sword and Shield generation. Now, in terms of what we're going to be looking for, okay, so similar to... Now, what expansion was it? We were doing an expansion where we had this sort of almost like holy type cards where it's explosions of colour. We've done so many of these now, it's kind of blurred into... It must have been Hidden Fates, I'm guessing. Surely, it would have been Hidden Fates. Similar style cards where it's got this sort of explosion of colour in the back. So we've got Kyogre, Reshiram. We'll go through and see what else we can find in that. But this is the one we're keeping our eye out for. This is the, as I say, one of 3 different Charizard VMAXs. My favourite card design of all time. Failed to find the other 2. We're going to see if we can find this one. Either in English or Japanese. I don't mind, but we're going to be looking for that one today. And then obviously, it's also got... Now, I'm guessing it was Hidden Fates. They have these certain cards. Now, the only way I can describe these is shiny, shiny. In other words, it's the shiny version of the Pokemon in a shiny card, if that makes sense. You know, in the video games where you have, or in Pokemon Go, where you have a shiny version of the Pokemon, in other words, a alternative colour version of the Pokemon. In fact, just yesterday, after playing the game for 6 years, Pokemon Go, I'm talking about, I finally managed to get a shiny Magikarp and get that red Gyarados. I should actually have my phone on me somewhere. You have no idea the elation of waiting so many years to get that, but I digress. So anyway, we have the shiny cards. So as we go through those, we'll sort of point those out a little bit, and obviously, as this is the Sword and Shield generation, it's showing these Stage 2 evolutions of the starter Pokemon there. So if we skip through this a little bit... Actually, I want to have a look at these trainer cards when I get to them. They're specifically for Zacian and Zamazenta, but we'll get there when we get to it. Okay, so we'll go through a little bit of what we can expect, because I believe this is a fairly big set. Yes, it is. So obviously, this is done in terms of different Pokemon types. Celebi we'll be having a look out for, because that's one of my favourite ones. Delmi's definitely not interested, because that's the Sword and Shield generation of sort of haunted trinkets. Lance has the red Gyarados in the anime. I actually haven't seen that. As I say, there's not so much of the anime that I've seen. I do need to sort of catch up on it on some point. I did start watching the Indigo League on Netflix a couple of weeks ago, and I've been enjoying the nostalgia of going down that sort of rabbit hole. Reshiram is that sort of holy card, and we've got another one over here, Kyogre. Lot of just... Well, I don't know what you call it, sort of standard playing cards. Ilvatal is not quite a holy card, but interesting live. Ditto, one of my favourite Pokemon. The actual... I think I have this card, the Japanese version of this card. Somebody sent it to me, but I don't have the VMAX. Greedent... I thought there was a Greedent VMAX, so maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so these Rusted Shield and Rusted Swords, I kind of want to go through and see what they're all about. So here we go. Now, so those are sort of the quote-unquote normal cards, and then we get into the, as I was saying, the shiny shinies. So they are alternative coloured versions of the Pokemon, but in a very shiny card as well. So we've got sort of some starter Pokemon from Rowlet and Grookey. Yeah, Scorbunny and fortunately Galarian Mr. Mime and Rhyme, which I do not like. Suicune, if that's how it's pronounced. Again, if you're new to these streams, I will probably be pronouncing a lot of these Pokemon's names incorrectly, because I've only ever seen them written down, as we just said to Shane. I haven't seen the anime that much. I've played the games, but obviously in the games we're still at a point where they don't say the names out loud. It's still just written down. Hey, John. Yes, so we got Sobble in terms of starter Pokemon again. Toxel and Toxtricity, I was like... as cute as it is, I always like to see the Galarian, Ponyta, and Rapidash. Hate this concept of like haunted teapots, haunted cups and things in Sword and Shield. Will not be looking out for those in particular. And then we've got some Galarian, lots of Galarian forms of Pokemon. Oh no, it does have a Galarian Wheezing. I was going to say it's got Galarian Coughing, but not necessarily a Wheezing. Have I seen South Park? As in, what, just generally? Or something to do with... do you mean the Chin Pokemon episode? Or do you just mean generally? So some sword and... oh, okay, here we go. So these are the... Because obviously this is all about shiny Pokemon. It's Shining Fates. So... This is a shiny Charizard, but it's a shiny card, and it's the full art version of the one that you'd get in Darkness Blaze and in Champions Pass. So this is the one that we're going to be looking out for. I thought there were 2 Charizards in this set. I'm wrong about that, clearly. Oh, but there is a Ditto VMAX, a shiny Ditto. So there's a Ditto, as we would know it normally. Where are we? Sorry for all the flicking. The pink Ditto, as we would know it, but then there is also a blue Ditto, because that's the shiny Ditto. And then we've got some Eternatus V and VMAX as well. So a big set. So I don't know if that increases our chances of finding anything or makes it smaller. Who knows? We'll find out as we go through. Did you ever find out why they class the Dark Blasters as a counter? Yes, no. So I think it is counterfeit because I've been doing a little bit of research on the Dark Blastoise, and so the card itself is... How can I describe it? Let me find something that might explain it a little bit better. So this is, in sort of normal sets, what you'd call a reverse holo card. So that is... The whole card is shiny, apart from the artwork and then the border. What I found with the Dark Blastoise is the entire card was shiny. So the background, the image, and the border were all shiny. That is not how Dark Blastoise should look. So I don't know if it's my memory, Mandela effect of where I got that Dark Blastoise from, but that Dark Blastoise should have always been in with all of my other Team Rocket cards, which I assumed I'd opened at the time. Maybe I traded it with someone. I don't know. But for 20 odd years, I'd assumed that I had 2 Dark Blastoises. One that was in English, which was a shiny version, and one that was in French, which wasn't. Now I know that the English one was counterfeit, which is a shame. It's not going anywhere. I still love the card, so it's never going to be... Obviously, it can't be sold, and it's never going to be graded. But for my own personal collection, I'm fine with it. I don't mind too much, because it's not like I spent a load of money on it. I either got it out of a pack 20 years ago, or I traded it with somebody 20 years ago. So it doesn't make a lot of difference to me, other than I can't sell it. However, I have got, I think, over 100 cards with ace grading right now. So you can expect a big bumper stream, because obviously doing these streams more or less every week, there's been a lot of cards that have been found to be sent off and to be graded. And also, to be fair, there were also a lot of packs that I was planning to do on stream, but I've had to change my plans a little bit because PokeMondays hasn't been as big as I thought. So some of them have been opened, which you haven't seen yet, and they've been sent off for grading. So they're going to be coming back soon, and I will have a lot to show you. I mean, a lot. And it just means that I can try and get some money back onto this channel as well. Trek Review, hi, how are you doing? Right, so now that we've had a look through the card list, we'll go back to the Elite Trainer box, which of course will get rid of this big chunk of packaging. And we'll get rid of the usual stuff that you'd find, the card rule, the rule book, or the sort of how to play the card game. Not the same as in the card list. The card list will give you these are quite useful to hang on to, because they will give you an idea of some of the more powerful cards in the set, and sometimes, let's just have a look if they've got it in here. Yes. So here it'll talk about finding combos and how to match up cards, either types of Pokemon or with trainer cards as well. So these are always handy if you want to play the game. These ones here are for people starting who don't know how to play. Those generally for me just go in a box or get thrown away because I've had hundreds of these. These ones I hang on to though. So in here we have, I said very confidently that it's 10. I don't actually know. It could be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it is 10. Okay, we'll put those to a side for a sec and carry on with what we would normally find in these boxes, which is your condition counters, which is 1 for poison, 1 for paralyze. Plastic ones. These were like a revelation when it came out, because normally they always used to be cardboard, but if you watch my Zacian and Zamazenta video, I've now got the metal ones, and these ones kind of feel a little bit, I wanted to say pedestrian, but that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. We also have some dice and damage counters, some nice dividers for when you're sorting through your cards, the obligatory pack of energy cards. Oh, I've got so many energy cards now. A digital card for the expansion in the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online or Pokemon Live when it eventually launches. Some card sleeves, so for if you're handling your cards in playing the game, they don't damage them. And our EVV was what I was struggling with there. EVV Max, which is our promo card. So I don't remember seeing too many EVs in this set. I think there was only an EV. I don't even know if there was an EVV. Was there an EVV in this set? Hang on, bear with me. When we go back to the colourless cards, there's an EV. Is there an EVV? EVVV is what I'm struggling with. I don't think there was. So that's interesting. There's an EVV Max. It might be actually, to be fair, it could have been in a set or a tin or something. There might be an EVV. EVV. But no EVV that in the actual card list anyway. So it could just be that it's a secret rare or something. Yeah, I mean, yeah, over 100 cards. It's I've been saving them up for a long time. But yeah, the interesting thing is, so apparently now, since I made that video, you can get subgrades, but you have to pay to get a breakdown of what your subgrade per card as well. It's not like you can just get it as a list with it, which I'd be intrigued to see, but at the same time, you know, if you've sent, by the time that we get this set back, and then in a few more, because obviously we'll still have stuff coming through, there could be, you know, 150 cards, and I think it was £5 for I think you get a population list and the breakdowns or something along those lines. I haven't looked into it completely. I mean, that's 450 quid at that point, and I think they've dropped it to £2, but that would still be 300. So I'm just not that I'm not that bothered. Some of those cards for my personal collection, some of them are to sell, and I think we've established that even though their grading is harsh, if it's a 10 or a 9, you know it's damn near perfect. And if it's a 7 or an 8, you know it's not going to be perfect, but it's still going to be in good condition. I'm still upset about the Charizard being a 1. As I say, that's for my personal collection. That's not going anywhere, but still, for what it was, I thought that was in a reasonably good condition. I thought, when I say reasonable, I mean 3 or 4. 1, never mind. Eevee getting a Gigantamax in the game was so weird. Yeah, it is weird because he or she is stage. Well, it's not stage 1. She's basic. The Eevee, one of the favourites. It's a cool design, but as I say, it is a bit weird. I mean, I guess, like I say, I started breaking into a set called Eevee Heroes, which is a Japanese set. So maybe the idea is if you wanted to build a deck all around Eevees and their Eeveelutions, then this card would make sense. But then again, it is a bit weird because I don't really see the point of this card, because if you wanted to build a deck around Eeveelutions, you need EVV. I'm going to put the gap in there rather than trying to say EVV. EVV, and then you evolve it into any of the Eeveelutions. You can't evolve EVV Max into Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, Umbreon, Glaceon, Leafeon. You can't do that. So it's a bit of a weird card in that the EVV that you would need to evolve this can evolve into any of the others, but it can't evolve from this, if that makes sense. It's a weird situation, but that's what it is. Now, obviously, we've got 10 booster packs from that Elite Trainer box. However, before we do that, I have a few of these, which are sort of little Pokemon tins. This one was Celebi with a Rillaboom hiding in the background. These have, how many in there? 2 booster packs, plus a plastic flipping coin, which are useless. But either way, we've got some more boosters in these little tins because I managed to get these cheap, basically. So I've got 4 of these tins. So we'll go through these first and then open up the boosters in these to see what we can find. I mean, bear with me one sec. I'll go get the Charizard because at the moment it's on the shelf by where I do the Power Rangers videos. Bear with me. I'll go get that Charizard and I'll give you a better look at it. One sec. Okay, so this was it. Now, as far as I can tell, the back of it is... Sorry, I've got my microphone a bit too close to my mouth. The back of it is not in the best condition. You can see the fraying at the corners, and it's, it's clearly been played with. It's been held like that a lot. But on the front, I mean, everything is decent. I've seen... And I mentioned this in the video that, I don't always trust other grading companies because sometimes they are incentivized to grade higher. But literally, I've seen ones with folds in them, which have come through at least a 2. This, even though it's very obvious that it has been handled a lot and it's been played with, if I got that, as a trade or something, I'd be very happy. I mean, I was very happy with that when I got it. And it'd been in the background of several videos, just in its semi-rigid. But yeah, definitely acknowledge that it's not perfect. But to get a 1, I was quite disappointed with it. But as I say, these cases from Ace Grading are damn solid. So whatever happens, this is never going to get any better. It's not even going to get any worse condition. So as just a collectible for me, it's in a perfect case. It's just a shame about that. I wish it was at least a 2 or a 3 because I think it deserves a 2 or a 3. But I'm not the expert on these. They are. So it is what it is. But still, I'm happy with the casing. I'm happy that it's now in its protective case. Just, yeah. It's in better condition than or it's in worse condition than I thought. The designs are not, I mean, they're heavy duty. They're twice as thick as the ones you'd get from PSA. Okay, so there's our little plastic coin. Nice little Eevee. Although I say these coins are useless, because if you do have to flip them in the game, a lot of the time, if you will just sort of flip it up, and then it will just come down exactly like that. So they're not actually any use whatsoever. You stick to a metal coin or a dice, because obviously the alternative is... Where did I just put those die? Let's just open these up for a sec, and I've explained this before, but I'll explain it a little bit better. So obviously, when you buy a deck for a in any set, normally what they would do is give you a little thing with pop-out damage counters and condition counters. So if your Pokemon is paralyzed, if it's poisoned, or if it takes any damage, you put little counters with 10 or 100 or whatever on it is. And back in the day, it used to be glass beads. Nowadays, if you get a Elite Trainer box, obviously you get the plastic damage condition counters, but also you get these die. Now, obviously, these have numbers on them. So, say, for example, Luxray here. I'll just bring that bit into focus. Has 160 hit points. So, if somebody hit it and it got, let's say, I don't know, 50, we'd put that on it instead, which makes a lot more sense. It's a lot easier to handle. But there was an alternative in that if you had these just normal type of die, you say something like, say, 4 is 40, 5 is 50, 6 is 60, for example. So if somebody did 50 damage, you put a die with 5 on it. The other thing that you can do with the die is use them as a coin. So rather than doing a sort of coin flip to get heads or tails, you'll essentially just say, like, odd numbers are tails, even numbers are heads. So if it says flip a coin, you'd go, okay, 5, well, that's tails then. So you're better off using either dice or a metal coin than these things, because they are pretty useless unless you just like the way they look, in which case, by all means, collect them. What is this? It's just a little Celebi collector's card with a little info. It weighs £11, apparently, Celebi, if you ever wondered that. I don't know what that's meant to be, but either way. So we should get... Yeah, we got 2 boosters in this. And obviously, pretty much all the way throughout this, it's going to be teasing us with that Charizard. So we'll see if we can find one or not. Oh, hang on, I've just realised I buried my scissors under all the energy cards and things. Right, so let's start eating into booster packs. And obviously we've got the digital. I can go over there. Rowlet, Trapinch, Snom, Grookey, Spinarak, Reverse Hollow Grookey, and was I just saying earlier that I got... No, as I say, I think someone sent me the Greedent V Max, the Japanese version. So we've got the English Greedent V now. Energy cards. Obviously, we've got hundreds of those now. Team Yell Towel. Heal 50 damage from both active Pokemon. That's interesting. So you... I mean, that's... Why would you want that? Why would you want to heal 50 of their Pokemon? You have to be quite strategic with that one, I think. Thwacky and Gym Trainer, draw 2 cards. If your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw 2 more cards. Now that's a useful one. So rather than just a draw 2, I mean, to be fair, I don't know why you would want that rather than just like a How or something where, you know, it's draw 3 cards. I know that's essentially draw 4, but you do get a sense with some of these cards that they were done better in... I don't know if it's just because it's a generational thing, like if you went to a competition, obviously, because this is Sword and Shield generation, then other generations might not be allowed, so cards get replaced. But yeah, I do feel like if you were in like an unlimited match or something, there are better cards than some of the cards that we get pulled out from this, but maybe they're running out of ideas, who knows. Grookey, Spinarak, Shinx, Horsey, Yanma. Aha! So we'll put that aside for a sec. Yanmega, Energy Card, Team Yelltail, Luxia, and Floatzel. So this is what I was saying earlier about the sort of holy type color explosion cards. This is the Reshiram one, which is actually, they do have the shininess sort of continues through to, it's probably not coming through on camera, but it also has this sort of texture to it. Let's see if I can catch the light. I don't know if I'm getting that at all. No, it's probably not. Oh, well, yeah, it's just catching it just. It has sort of this texture to it as well. It's not just a flat shiny card. There's sort of a pattern ingrained into the shininess. Yeah, some cards are for very specific circuits. I mean, those ones weren't that specific. Ones where there's a condition if your Pokemon was knocked out in the previous round, they always intrigue me because sometimes they can be really useful. That one, I mean, that just turns a draw 2 into a draw 4. So Cacnea, Gossifleur, Snom, Trapinch, Nicklet, Reverse Hollow, Cacnea, Professor's Research, Energy, Luxio. But what's the ball guy do? Search your deck for up to 3 different item cards that have the word ball in their name. Reveal them and put them into your hand. I mean, that makes sense for the game for what he is, because obviously in the video games, that's what he does. He's all about giving you more sort of unique Pokeballs and things. But generally speaking, when I'm playing the game, just the normal Pokeball is the one that I would normally go for, because Great Ball and Ultra Ball and things, sometimes you have to discard cards. At least with the Pokeball, I think it's just a coin flip. But then there's so many of them, I lose track of them all. Weasel, Shinx, Coughing, Trapinch, Rowlet, Reverse Hollow Horsey. Aha! And there's our Ditto. Yeah, Ditto was the normal V that I got the Japanese version of. I do love Ditto. I mean, in terms of the video game, he's not that useful, because all it does is that you lose a turn transforming, and then you transform it into a Pokemon that is of the same type. So unless you're against something like a Dragon type or a Ghost type or something, it's not necessarily that useful. But I just love the concept of Ditto. And also, I'm a huge Kirby fan, so I just think Pink Blob. I just love the idea of it. Team Yelltail, Rotom. Rusted Shield. Now this is the ones I wanted to have a look at. The Zamazenta V this card is attached to gets 70 additional horsepower. I've been looking at motorbikes just for fun for the last couple of days. So when I see HP now, I get hit points rather than I get horsepower rather than hit points. Now, I believe, so if you're putting a Zacian and Zamazenta deck together, these are going to be really useful, because I believe the Rusted Sword gives more damage, and then the Rusted Shield allows you to receive more damage. So these are really useful. Sorry, that was really loud because I got my microphone quite close. These are really useful trainer cards. 70 additional hit points, not horsepower. Hit points are quite useful. Oh, that's going to be a thing for... I'm going to keep saying horsepower, aren't I? Ultra Balls are great for when you're playing with the V-Union deck. Remind me what an Ultra Ball does, Patrick? As I say, that I sort of lose track of them. And as I haven't played with V-Union at all. Like, the only V-Union card I have is the Pikachu one. Even though I have it in 3 languages now, from between celebrations and the 25th anniversary stream. We got it in English, Japanese, and Korean. Spinarak, Cufant, Gossifleur, Snom, which I just love the name Snom. Coughing. Okay, we'll put that down for a sec. Manaphy, Energy, Rusted Shield, Team Yelltail, and Eldegoss. Right. So this is another one of Actually, no, we haven't had one yet, have we? We had the Holy card, but we haven't had... This is the first of the shiny shinies, as I put them. So this is Thwacky. Now, actually, we just had a Thwacky when we were going through, didn't we? Where was that? No, that was Grookey. Did I see a Thwacky? No, that's Grookey. Okay, we haven't had a Thwacky yet. But if I get the card list, we can have a look at Thwacky's normal colouring. Okay. So obviously, yeah, so there's Grookey. And then we have Thwacky, which is this sort of lime green colour. Now this is the shiny Thwacky, where he's sort of more of a yellowy brown type colour. So it's meant to be it's the shiny Thwacky, but then you've also got this sort of shiny card, and it's similar to the Reshiram. It's kind of textured. Now this is one of the... I don't know what the word is. Something that's specific to Shining Fates, but I think also it might have been in Hidden Fates as well. That there are these shiny Pokemon in shiny card form. Discard 2 cards and search your deck for any Pokemon card. As long as you can afford to discard those cards, yeah, that would make sense. Like, I mean, when we were doing the Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy Color, you know, one of the big battles in that I ended up winning by the other guy just running out of cards to draw, because yeah, sometimes you got to be a bit careful with trader cards that make you either discard or draw cards. They in theory work, but you need to be a little bit more strategic with them. Shinx, Horsey, Yanma, Morpeko. Morpeko is always cute. Coughing, that's another one of them. We'll put that down. Boss's Orders, Energy, Rusted Shield, Borgite, and Float Sword. Okay. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups a little bit. So there's another one. So obviously this is Center Scorch, but it's the shiny Center Scorch, and then it's in a shiny version of the card, a little bit like with the Thwacky one here. So it's nice for a little bit of variation in that they're not just the normal types of Pokemon, they are the shiny form, which is obviously translates up until you get to the more full art cards as well, like say with the Charizard, where it is, you know, in Darkness Ablaze they have the normal Charizard full art, and then this is going to be the shiny version. Horsey, Grookey, Morpeko, Spinarak, Weasel, Yamper. There we go. So Yamper normally is brown, right? One sec, we'll get to that in a sec. Manaphy, water. Rusted Sword as well. Okay, so let's have a look at these two. So first of all, we'll have a look at the Yamper. Is there a normal Yamper in this set? Morpeko. No, there's not a normal Yamper in this set, but I believe Yamper is normally brown. Correct me if I'm wrong. But obviously in this one, because it is the shiny Yamper, it's this sort of pink and green colour. And then you've got this sort of texture along with the shininess. But this... Sorry, I keep shouting into the microphone. This is the accompaniment to the Zamazenta V Rusted Shield. This is the Rusted Sword for Zacian. So the attacks of the Zacian V that this card is attached to do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So obviously we have the Rusted Shield that allows you to receive more damage for the Zamazenta, but you also have the Rusted Sword, which allows you to dish out more damage from the Zacian. Hey Mike, how you doing? Yeah, good. Actually, it's worth noting, I don't know if some people have noticed, I have started putting some of the archives of PokeMondays on the Pomelo Retro Extra YouTube channel. Partly because, generally speaking, PokeMondays does not get as many views as Retro Wednesdays does, so I've been trying to archive them over on Pomelo Retro Extra, because it's actually got to the point where some videos are starting to affect the growth of the channel, and that goes for some of the early access stuff as well. So if you are a YouTube member, you'll probably see that your early access videos are on YouTube, sorry, on the Pomelo Retro YouTube channel. But if you're on Patreon, you'll have seen that they're on Pomelo Retro Extra, and that is because the The one on the main Pomelo Retro channel, I could just put normal public, but if I was to have that other Patreon version on my normal channel, the fact that that only gets a handful of views is actually affecting the averages in the analytics. So I've had to migrate a fair bit of stuff over to Pomelo Retro Extra, and that's going to be an ongoing process. So if you can't find any of the video on demand versions of certain streams, not necessarily just PokeMondays, but even if it's a Retro Wednesdays one or any other videos, if you can't find them on the Pomelo Retro channel, go check over on Pomelo Retro Extra. You might find them there, because that's going to be sort of an ongoing process over the next few weeks of moving some stuff over. I'm talking like the Poke Battle announcers so obviously you see me in the top right hand corner here, but when I'm looking at the cards, I have my mouth down a bit, which brings me closer to the microphone like this. So obviously, if I'm talking relatively loudly here, it doesn't really matter because the microphone, but as soon as I put my mouth down here, I start blowing people's ears off. So apologies if I do that, but obviously it's the nature of these videos that when I'm talking to you, I'm looking in the camera, and then when I'm down here, I'm looking at the cards like this. So I need to be able to pull it down a bit. Snom, Horsey, Rowlet, Morpeko, Spinarak, Qfant. Galar, put him down there. Energy Card, Luxio, Dartrax, and Rusted Shield. So this is probably, apart from maybe Galarian Ponyta, this was the best Galarian version, Weezing. Because Coughing and Weezing were always a bit boring, but now you've got them sort of, they've got smog goatees and mustaches, and they're wearing top hats that are chimney stacks. I mean, in terms of, I love some of the Alolan and Galarian forms, but some of them also are a little bit boring. Weezing, they did. I'm not that interested in Coughing and Weezing, but I love the design of that. Some YouTube stuff sounds so. It's a minefield to try and figure some of it out. I wish you could just create content, and if people like it, then it works. But that's not how it works. You've got to try and figure out algorithms, and so, like I say, you can't just have one video that doesn't perform very well, because then that affects your channel. And I mean, if anyone's familiar with Cinemassacre, the people that do Angry Video Game Nerd, sometimes they used to talk about it on the Cinemassacre podcast before that went away, and there's just stupid things like, obviously with Angry Video Game Nerd, one of the big things for that, and one of its key features, was that he was angry and he'd swear a lot, but nowadays you won't find them, say, using the old theme tune music, because the theme tune music had a swear word in it within the first 30 seconds, and there's this unwritten rule that isn't, like, it's not published anywhere, but they have a representative at YouTube which tells them this stuff, and they don't tell other people them, so you just kind of have to figure these things out in the grapevine, because that had a swear word within the first 30 seconds, they had to change the theme music or just stop using the theme music, even though the entire video could be full of swear words, but because the first 30 seconds had a swear word in it, then it wouldn't get demonetized, it would just get pushed less. And there are other things like as well, so you can have loads of swearing throughout the video, but there are certain swear words that with them in there, they'll push the video less. So they rank swear words in terms of their intensity, I guess, and depending on what swear words are used, the videos will be pushed. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I try not to have swearing in my videos. When I do swear, I bleep it. Another reason is I learned a long time ago, bleeped swears are funnier than actual swears. That's one thing I learned from when I was doing stuff in TV. Sometimes in TV, they'll bleep somebody even when they didn't swear, just because bleeping sounds funny. But there's just stupid stuff and it's not published anywhere. So you just have to find these things out. But yeah, also another thing that I learned from the Cinemassacre podcast is that if your video gets a copyright claim against it, even if you you contest it and win, your video automatically will get pushed less. So say for example with the nightmare that I had with the ABBA Ranger videos, even though I eventually won those copyright claims, the first ones I didn't. God, that was a pain in the ass. Excuse me. Beep. Those videos just won't get pushed as much because they had a copyright claim against them, even though that copyright claim was taken away. So it just doesn't make sense a lot of the time. And you just have to find these out from other people telling you, because YouTube won't tell you. And obviously one thing that I learned is, and this is really annoying because a lot of people use this feature where you have unlisted videos. So for example, for early access for my Patreon backers and things, I will put a video up and put it unlisted and send them the link so they can watch that video. And then when the video goes public, I will either have the same version or a different version. When it came to ABBA Ranger, I used a sort of still work in progress version as my early access video. But because that was only going to say 30, 40 people, it's not going to get hundreds or thousands of views. So the fact that that video exists with only 30 or 40 views affects my whole channel. So I'm having to now go through this process now of looking at some of my videos and thinking, well, is it worth having them on the main channel or should I migrate it over? Even though Pomelo Extra is not monetized right now, it might still make the YouTube algorithm or YouTube's parameters in general are just a minefield. Who knows? No one pays attention to the first few minutes of YouTube anyway. Well, maybe not. I mean, like, a few people have said that they don't want my intro on my videos now. They just want to skip through. I mean, because it used to be longer, I've already cut it down. But it is what it is. They make up the rules, and yeah, I don't know what else to do. Like, I've seen channels that do similar stuff to me that have completely eclipsed me. And I never really understand why. One channel that I always find very interesting for trying to see the fidelity of the YouTube algorithm is a guy called Game Dave. He does really good retro game reviews. However, you can see where the YouTube algorithm has affected him. Because if you go through his channel, a lot of his videos will have, I don't know, 5,000 views. Some might go up to say 20, 30,000. And then one or two will have 1 million. And he hasn't like paid to boost them or anything. It's just that for some reason that video hit the magic algorithm and that shot up to 800,000, 1 million views when all of his others are sub 100,000. And you're just looking and going, well, why? The guy's got really good quality content. And the only reason I was actually looking at this 2 days ago, because obviously on Discord, I'm part of his Discord server, but I haven't been on there in a long time. And I thought, well, maybe he's not doing anything, because I know he had a son recently. Maybe he's not producing content anymore. And I went on the Discord and saw that he is producing content. So I looked on his channel and I looked at his videos, and you're going, oh, he's only getting, 5,000 views for some of his videos. And then I start looking through his whole entire back catalogue, and he's going, oh, he was only getting like 5,000, like way back when he started all the way to now. It hasn't like gone up and then peaked and come down. It's just that he had a period a few years ago where one or two of his videos did something right and it just exploded. And it just, you don't know how to explain it. I mean, I've been speaking to a guy on my Discord for the last couple of days who liked my motorbike reviews that I used to do on the channel back when it was called Pomelo Pictures rather than Pomelo Retro, and I was saying to him that, you know, some of them are still my most watched videos, even though I've come to be known as the guy that does the Power Rangers and Super Sentai's comparisons. And before that, I was known as the guy who was going after CEX for illegally using copied video game covers. For a long time, I was known for motorbike reviews. Despite me putting Power Rangers videos out there and gaming videos out there and all these things, it was the motorbike reviews, because for some reason they just worked. And the channel that I've got at the moment, the Pomelo, the one that you're watching right now, is actually the second iteration of the channel. We did have one before called Pomelo Pictures, and it got hacked by a Russian bot, which then spammed, like, clicking on ads, which just completely ruined the Google ads, which is, at that point I only had like 250 subscribers, so I just killed that channel and relaunched again. But when I had that channel, I did a motorbike review, and it got like 100,000 views in a week or two, which was crazy, especially because this is before I could monetize that channel. But then when that channel died and I had to migrate it over, that video didn't perform again, anywhere near to the same degree as it did before, and I have no idea why. And it was really weird going from, you know, doing motorbike reviews and getting 100,000 views quite quickly to then going, well, hey, I'm going to try doing gaming videos. And I did the Power Rangers video game video, which is sort of styled more on JonTron and Video Game Nerd, Angry Video Game Nerd. And for the longest time, I mean years, it only had a couple hundred views. Not a couple thousand, a couple hundred. And I didn't know why. I promoted it just about everywhere I could, and it didn't work. And it's just a fallacy of thinking that the algorithm is something that you can game. Unless you know the rules of the game, you can't do it. And YouTube don't publish those rules, and they change them a lot. So unless you've got a YouTube representative, it just doesn't work. You know, one of the whole reasons that doing PokeMondays, for example, doing this, was for a few reasons. One, to be able to hang out with you a little bit more, because people were saying they liked my videos but didn't get much of my personality through them because they were scripted. Another was to try and up the watch hours, because that's what YouTube says is important for growth of a channel, watch hours. That hasn't been the case in what I've found. And also, I wanted to be able to broaden my audience a little bit with Pokemon, but YouTube has not pushed. I have not gained a Pokemon audience. Most of my audience that watch Pokemon videos are people that were here already from Power Rangers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or any other retro stuff, and just happen to like Pokemon as well. But yeah, it just doesn't. I don't know how to make it work. I just clipped up an unboxing video for another channel, and now I have a feeling no one will see it. Sorry, what do you mean, Michael? R2D2 must have had this. So I only just saw that comment. Anyway, back to Shiny Fates. This slight interlude into the weirdness of YouTube over. Coughing, Trapinch, Rowlet, Tootle, Morpeko, Reverse Hollow Rowlet, Energy, oh, hang on, we got a Thwacky. We'll go back. We'll go back to that shiny one. Yeah, sorry if I'm distracting you, Michael. So, as I was saying, this is normal Thwacky, but then this is shiny Thwacky. So you've gone from that sort of green to sort of a, I don't know what you call it, puce colour, but essentially the whole point is it's not just a shiny card, shiny Thwacky. Right. Oh, hang on, I've got more tins. I just realised I had 4 tins, didn't I? We still need to be opening these. So we've got a Kyogre tin. And our sort of, I don't know, it's sort of a Kyogre info card. Got a Blastoise coin this time, but as I say, these coins are pretty much worthless. It's not even that they're worthless, it's they're useless. That's the problem. Alright, so let's open these ones up. I have to say, I haven't noticed much difference in terms of cards that you get from Elite Trainer boxes or from tins or anything like that. It seems to be pretty much just random selection. Like, so even though tins can be a little bit more expensive, I think apart from these, I got them on sale. It doesn't seem to be that you've got any more of a chance of finding something special in a tin or anything than in just in a normal booster. Horsey, Spinarak, Rowlet, Morpeko. Put that down a sec. Zarude, Energy, Thwackey, Cramorant, Morpeko, and Rotom. This is one of the weirder ones. Now, Farfetch'd obviously never had an evolution, and it's not until we got Sword and Shield that it actually got one with its stick of celery or whatever it's meant to be, green onion or something. But obviously, the original Farfetch'd still doesn't have an evolution. It's only the Galarian Farfetch'd that can then go into Galarian Sirfetch'd. But I guess it's meant to be playing on the whole, because obviously Sword and Shield is meant to be the UK. I'm guessing it's meant to be Sirfetch'd in that he has a sword, but it's celery or spring onion or whatever it's meant to be. I don't know, Farfetch'd is a bit weird. Farfetch'd is a bit far-fetched. Right, got a Reshiram tin. Yeah. Pikachu coin. Worthless Pikachu coin, but Pikachu nonetheless. Oh, that kind of fell over. Morpeko, Koffing, Gossifleur, Cacnea, Tootle, Reverse Holo Cacnea, Manaphy, Energy Card, Tropius, Rusted Shield, and Rotom. Nothing new there. Dewfont, Tootle, Yanma, Morpeko, Eevee, Reverse Holo Tootle. Oh, we got a Morpeko V. That's the first one of those we've seen. Although, to be fair, Morpeko is a very cute Pokemon. Morpeko V does not look that cute. Just looks angry. Rusted Shield, Eldegoss, and Tropius. Actually, Tropius is a basic Pokemon. Is that any you attach up to 2 Grass Energy cards from your discard pile to your bench? Oh, that's a good one. That's actually quite a useful card. So, as I say, so when I've done playthroughs of the game, I talk about cards that are what I would call, say, hit point sponges. So these are the type of cards that you would play either first or when you're getting to a point where you need to build up your bench a little bit. So this is not necessarily one that you'd play first, but it is one of those ones where, say, in the middle of a game, where it's looking like your bench is looking a bit weak, you put Tropius out, because it's got 110 hit points, and you can throw as many potions or whatever you want at it. But it says attach up to 2 grass energy cards from your discard pile to any of your bench Pokemon in any way you work. So obviously if you need to build up your bench and you've had, say, if you've put out a V or a VMAX Pokemon early and they've lost a lot of energy cards and your opponent's taken a lot of prize cards, you need to build up your bench quickly. Those are the type of cards that you want to use. Right, the last of these tins. I don't think I've ever played with it in the actual video games. Because what? Ooh, those tins are falling. So what? Because what generation was Tropius? Was it second? No, I don't think it was it? As I say, I started playing Crystal a while ago, but I got stuck in a lot of place, and the strategy guide they got was stunk of mildew. I got it off eBay and it absolutely reeked. When I put it in a box with baking soda for a couple of weeks, and it seemed to work, but I've had so much editing to do, I haven't got around to playing Crystal again yet. Qfan, Eevee, Weasel, Yanma, Trapinch, Galarian Weezing. Oh, it's done. It's okay. Rotom, Floatzel, and Rusted Sword. Now, obviously, this is the first VMAX we found, but unfortunately, it is the haunted ship's anchor and steering wheel that is Delmi's VMAX. Haunted anchor and wheel. You do get the sense that they were running out of ideas a little bit. But yeah, I don't remember what generation Tropius is. Tropius? I don't know. Horsey, Grookey, Morpeko, Spinarak, Reverse Hollow Shinx, Yanmega, Water Energy, Gym Trainer, Thwackey, Floatzel, and Coughing. Yeah, it was Gen 3, but my first experience was at Gen 4, so I missed out on the Advanced era. Yeah, it was more the DS era that I missed out on. Grookey. Oh, there's something shining back there. Yanma, Morpeko, Chewtle, Eevee, and... Ooh, hello. That's more like it. Let's put that down for a sec. Manaphy, Grass Energy, Gym Trainer, Rotom, and Floatzel. We have a Rillaboom VMAX. I think when I played through Sword and Shield, I think I had like Grookey and Thwackey and Rillaboom as my... Pretty sure I did as my basic Pokemon. The only thing is though that because it's shiny, it's not Rillaboom, it's shiny Rillaboom. So in a full art, full holo, it's actually hard to see some of its features because it's not just normal Rillaboom. Well, when you say the implication that Pokemon are all animals, I think that was initially meant to be the idea because the whole point around the games is that they were based on bug collecting, because the guy that made Pokemon was a bug collector. He'd go out into forests exploring and collect bugs. That was what it was meant to be. But obviously it included things like turtles and mice and lizards and all these other things. And obviously there was always the weird ones like Jinx and Mr. Mime, which I don't like either. But you know, Staryu is a starfish. Pikachu is a mouse, Charmander is a lizard, Squirtle is a turtle, Bulbasaur is... well, I guess he's a lizard too, but with plants growing out of him. So yeah, the idea was that they were all meant to be animals, but as we go further along, there's... I mean, like, for example, I don't know what Manaphy is meant to be. What is that meant to be? It's not a jellyfish. As you start to go along, they start to become more just sort of monsters, in which case it doesn't really matter. But yeah, certainly Gen 1, apart from... oh, maybe on Gen 2 and 3 as well. Apart from the odd one or two, they were a bit sort of out there and not... like, say for example with... I don't mind things like... I mean, I don't know what coughing and wheezing were meant to be, but I mean, they weren't necessarily animals. They were sort of byproducts of pollution and things as well. So you can kind of get away with those. I mean, obviously, Rowlet is an owl, Grookey's a monkey, Dreedent's a squirrel. Reshiram, I don't know what that's meant to be, but because it's meant to be like this sort of super powerful type Pokemon, a bit like with Mew and Mewtwo or any of those kind of Pokemon. I don't mind that. Cacnea is a cactus, but again, I don't necessarily mind that because you could just say, well, it's an animal that is camouflaged as looking like that. But yeah, when you get to things like Sword and Shield, where you got the teapots and the sword and the Clink, which is like gears, and then what's the one where it's just keys? I don't like that kind of thing. Horsey is just, you know, it's a seahorse. Perfectly fine. Snom is a bug. Or like a hedgehog bug. that looks a bit like it's got a penis for a head. Fine, you know, it's a jelly-like bug hedgehog thing. That fine. Morpeko's a mouse. Tootle's a little snapping turtle. All of those are fine, but some of them just don't make sense to me, and I don't like them. Volcanion, Galarian Weezing. You know, Luxio's a little lion. Thwacky's a monkey. They're all fine. But yeah, when it gets to the more sort of out there stuff, I'm not as keen on them. I mean, there's probably a few examples where I contradict myself there, but for the most part, if it's based on an animal or something similar, then no problem. I mean, Jared, like, as I say, I played Generation 1 and 2, and then I started playing Gen 3, but never really finished it, but then I sort of went back around when it came to the 3DS remasters of it, but I didn't do any of the DS games. So the two sort of generations of DS game, the Black and White and Pearl and Diamond, I don't know much about at all. I only really got back into it in 3DS, so it's kind of... And then with Sword and Shield, it's a little bit hit and miss with a lot. So I've sort of got this fragmented history of Pokemon. Certainly Gen 1 and 2 are the ones I know best and I like best. But then there's a few through the generations that I've liked, but I don't have a lot of nostalgia for them. But then obviously the trading card game is different because sometimes you can get an affinity to a card because it's particularly useful, even though you never necessarily played with the Pokemon in the game, if that makes sense. Morpeko, Cacnea, Horsey, Cufant. Oh, so we got Cufant, and then that's good. So we can illustrate the difference between those two. So there's the Cufant, and then the shiny Cufant. So one's orange, one's yellow. And then we got a Cramorant V. Because say, for example, I have no idea what generation Cramorant is. I've never come across that in any of the video games that I've played. But obviously I know it from the trading card game. Gym Trainer, Team Yeltao, Floatzel, and Tootle. So yeah, my understanding of it is a little bit fragmented. It cancels out all abilities and does 40 poison damage. We'll take a look at it. Hang on. So we've got one here. Galarian Weezing. Its ability. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's Pokemon in play has no abilities, which is very useful, except for neutralizing gas. Okay, so that's an ability, okay. Oh, okay, because if you're against another Galarian Weezing. And then Severe Poison. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned, put 4 damage counters, or basically 40 hit points, instead of 1 on that point during Pokemon Checkup. Oh, wait, what? Put 4 damage counters instead of 1 on that Pokemon during Pokemon Checkup. Does anybody understand that? Because I'm a bit confused by that. Pokemon Checkup. What does it mean by that? What does that mean, Patrick? And when it does 40 instead of 10 on Checkup? Trapinch, Buizel, Coughing, Shinx, Grookey, Galarian Zigzagoon. So it's kind of like a reddy pink colour rather than black. And then another Ditto V. Water Energy, Rotom, Cramorant, not Cramorant V. And Rusted Shield. I understand sort of Pokemon Checkup is just the time in between turns. Oh, I see. So it's poisoned, and when it's poisoned you would normally put 10 hit points on it, but it's not, it's 40. So it's that it does 40 hit points in between every turn because it's poisoned. I've got you. Morpeko, Cacnea, Horsey, Cufant. Oh, got 2 V or V Max, hang on. Steel Energy, Thwacky, Tropius, Gym Trainer, and Tootle. We have Phalanx V, which I have no idea what that is meant to be. I guess it's meant to be like one of those, like mecha. Is it a train? Is that what it? Oh no, you're on a train, Arctic Shark. It's meant. It's meant to be like this sort of segmented millipedes or centipedes, I guess. And then so we got a Ditto V. Where's Ditto V? There it is. So we've got the Ditto V and V Max now. So Max Transform. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon attacks and you... Okay. So now that's more interesting. So obviously in the video games, like Ditto can only transform into the Pokemon that it's directly against. But in this, you could choose one of your Pokemon's active... one of your opponent's active Pokemon. So say, for example, if they had something like a Fire and Water deck, or something along those lines where one is actually has a weakness against the other or whatever, you could be, say, for example, this is probably an implausible scenario, but you could be against a Charizard and he has a Blastoise on his bench. You could use that Max Transform and you could transform into the Blastoise, and then all of a sudden you've got a Charizard versus a Blastoise, and we all know it's going to win in that scenario. So in that case, Ditto could be quite useful. Certainly more than Ditto is useful in the video games. Or as far as I mean, I'm sure someone will have found a way of using Ditto, but I never did. Yanma, Coughing, Morpeko, Horsey, Spinarak. Oh, we'll put that down for a sec. Thievul, Energy, Gym Trainer, Rotom, and Floatzel. So we have a Centiskorch. We've had quite a few VMAXs in the last few packs. It's sort of, we've sort of hit a vein of shiny cards, and obviously it is not just any Centiskorch VMAX. It is the shiny Centiskorch VMAX. I'm playing Red Knight right now. I still enjoy Gen 1. I know for some people now it's too basic, but I still find fun in it, and I don't know if that's just nostalgia or not. Horsey, Snom, Morpeko, we've got another V or VMAX back there. Cacnea, Tutel, Double V. Actually, hang on. I seem to remember that one. I'll come back to that in a sec. Professor's Research, Energy, Rotom, Rusted Shield, and Floatzel. I think I used to play with this in one of my digital decks. The ability, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. Oh yeah, so just straight off the bat. So it's got 210 hit points, but then it takes 30 less damage for each move. So it's not that it has 240 hit points. It takes 30 less damage on every move. And then Revenge Blast, this attack does 30 more damage for each prize card your opponent's... Yeah, so this is a card that you have on your bench, and you can break out a little bit into the middle of a game. So say, for example, if they've knocked out one of your VMAX Pokemon, they'll have taken 3 prize cards. But obviously with Revenge Blast, that'll do 120 damage, plus 30 more damage for each prize card. So that'd be another 90. So that would actually, for only 3 energy, and it can be energy of any type, that would do 210 damage. Plus you also don't take as much damage on this as well. So I remember I used to have that in my digital deck. I used to like Double V, even though I don't have any knowledge of Double from the video games. That's one that I would use in my, well, not my physical card decks, although I can now because I've got one. But it was always one that I had in my digital decks. Just because colourless energy Pokemon are always useful anyway. Morpeko, Spinarak, Buizel, Rowlet, Trapinch, Shiny Bunnelby. Boss's Orders, Water Energy, Floatzel, Dartrix, and Ball Guy, which is not the best name in the world, but just does describe him. Morpeko, Weasel, Nickit, Cacnea, Cufant, Yanmia. Oh, so Rillaboom, but that's the normal Rillaboom, not the shiny Rillaboom, even though it is a shiny card. It's not the shiny Pokemon, if that makes sense. Steel Energy, Team Yeltal, Russell Shield, and Eldegoss. Which, that's... yeah, okay. When they're plants, I can go along with it because, again, it could be a camouflaged Pokemon. I don't mind plant Pokemon. That's okay. I can go along with those. Weasel, Nickit, Cacnea, Cufant, Eevee, ooh, pull him down, Yanmega, Energy, Rusted Shield, Dartrix, and Bulgai. So, we have the sort of holy, shiny, rainbow, whatever you want to call them, Yveltal. Although that takes a lot of energy for only having 110 hit points. You need a fire energy, a psychic energy, a dark type energy, and then 2 other types of energy. Although, actually, that's not that bad because it'll just knock out any opponent. But even so, that's useful if you're against like a VMAX or something in that, because also it doesn't matter against abilities. Because it's not damage specifically, it just automatically knocks the Pokemon out. But getting 5 energy cards onto that before a VMAX knocks it out with only 110 hit points, you'd need you'd need a few potions or something to keep that. But that's actually, that could be quite useful if you're against like a super strong VMAX Pokemon, or you're against something that's sort of double teaming you with something else to match up abilities, but you can just instantly knock it out. Could be quite useful. An 8-hour stream ranking all Pokemon. I mean, I don't even know all Pokemon. Like I say, there's the middle generations in DS that kind of just went over my head. Although I can make quick assessments on them all. Morpeko, Nickit, Eevee, Gossifleur. Oh, we got a couple of things there. Tropius, Bulgai, Team Yeltal, and Rowlet. So we have Galarian Berserker, which is obviously... Hang on. Is there a non-Galarian Berserker? I don't think there is there? Because Berserker is specifically the evolution of Galarian Meowth, as opposed to Persian. So, when it says Galarian Berserker, there isn't a non-Galarian Berserker, right? And then we got another Morpeko V. I think I'm right when I say that. I'm pretty sure there is no Galarian... Although there is an Alolan... No, there's an Alolan Meowth and an Alolan Persian, which would make sense, because there's a normal Persian. But as far as I'm aware, there's not a non-Galarian Berserker. Rowlet, Cufant, Spinarank, Snom. I mean, look at the head on that. No comment. Horsey, it's a family stream. Floater. Oh, we got a couple of things there. Yeah, we have hit a vein of not that type of vein. Thwacky, Rusted Sword, and Rotom. So we got the reverse hollow Floatzel, but then we have the full art Pokekid. Search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck afterwards. See, now that is more useful than any of the Pokeball Pokeball cards, in my opinion anyway, because you're not having to flip a coin, you're not having to discard anything. Just search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. It doesn't say basic Pokemon, it doesn't say evolution, it's just Pokemon. Search your card for any Pokemon, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. That one is more useful than any of the Pokeball cards, in my opinion. And by association, more important than having the Pokeball guy. That is a card I'd put in my deck. More readily than any of the Pokeballs. I'm ripping these packs open. I don't normally do that, but it's a bit more satisfying. Morpeko, Spinarak, Snom, Grookey, Eevee. Ooh. That's not a shiny, but I still want to have a look at it. Energy, Dartrix to come out, and Rusted Shield. So we have Celebi, which, to be fair, this is another one where it's like, I don't know what that's meant to be based on, but it's kind of, it's a little bit like on the same sort of lines as Mew. Because it's meant to be a sort of mythical type, I can go along with that. It's not ideal, but I can go along with Celebi. I like Celebi. I believe the only way to get, a little bit like in Generation 1, the only way to officially get Mew was to get it at a competition. It wasn't hidden under the truck, and you could get it with a cheat cartridge, but the only way to get it was through a competition. With Celebi, I'm not sure about the English language ones, but the Japanese version, Pokemon Crystal, I don't know if Gold and Silver did it as well, but certainly Crystal, excuse me, you could get a mobile phone adapter that plugged into your Game Boy Color or something along those lines. I don't quite, I think it's something like that. And the only way to get Celebi was to go to a certain point in the game at a certain time of day and use your phone somehow to get, or something along those. I don't really know. And then we got the sort of Holy Kyogre. That's really nice, actually. I really like that. This attack does 80 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Ooh. So that's actually, when it says each of your opponent's Pokemon, so that would include bench Pokemon as well. 80 damage to all of them. That's really useful. I mean, obviously, it's a bit of a pain that you need water, lightning, steel, and then another energy, especially, again, when you've only got 120 hit points. But a little bit like the Yveltal. It's a little bit like, what if you're able to get the energy cards onto that, that's a really useful card. It's just keeping it active, which might be a little bit more difficult. And obviously a little bit annoying that you need to get that type of... Are you still planning to do the Kangaskhan, Cubone, and the... I want to. I can't sort of prioritize it at the moment because, like I say, the Pokemon videos just don't have an audience at the moment, because doing PokeMondays has not brought people in. If people are already on the channel and like Pokemon, then they are interested, but in terms of bringing people in, it hasn't done it, and doing them live hasn't done it, doing them non-live hasn't done it. So I still want to do it, and I will do it, but I need to prioritize the next Power Rangers vs Super Sentai and the next Super Sentai video as well, because those are the ones that actually bring in an audience. Those are the ones that actually bring in money. Because, I mean, the channel's only grown 1,000 subscribers or something in 5 months, which is not a lot, considering I'm doing 2 streams a week, 3 if you include the Hangout for Patreon backers, and then usually a video a week. It took a little while to get Aber Ranger out, but you know, getting three big pieces of content out a week, plus community posts as well, to only have grown 1,000 subscribers in 5 months is not a lot. So I will do it, and there's lots of videos that I've got on a spreadsheet that I want to work on, but I've had to sort of prioritize what I work on in the short term. Sorry, I just hit the mic. They might do, but as I say, I can't keep the old streams on the channel because it's just not working. So they're going to go over to Pomelo Retro Extra. But we're going to be doing more with the video games. We're going to be doing some slightly different Pokemon. Basically, I'm going to get to, I think we're going to get to the end of June, because that'll be 6 months since I've gone full time doing this, and I'm going to do sort of a what would you call it? A midterm assessment, I guess, of the channel. What's working, what's not working, what things need to change a little bit, what things you'll see more of, what things you'll see less of, what things you'll see tweaked. So we'll get to the sort of end of June and then assess everything, look at all the analytics, see what's working, and go from there, essentially. Gossifleur, Cacnea, Tootle, Eevee, Nickit. We got I don't think we had... No, we had Thwacky, didn't we? But we didn't have those shiny Grookey. Volcanion, Energy, Gym Trainer, Floatzel, and Team Tao. I still haven't played Legends Arceus yet. Or Shining Pearl. I've got them both, but I haven't played them yet. I haven't had the time. Because also, I don't know if people realise from the times that I've been posting stuff at the moment, I'm basically nocturnal at the moment for a couple of reasons. One, because I've mentioned this before, but if you're new to these streams, I'll mention it again. I rent an office space here, and it's an old cigar factory, and there's probably 50, 60 officers, and the issue is that... bear with me one sec. Just making sure these are blocked. The issue is that, generally speaking, I do these streams in the evenings because I want to be able to reach people in the US, people in Europe and the UK, and then making sure it's not too late for people east of us as well. No, yeah, east. But also, I can't really film stuff during the day because even though it's got 50 or 60 officers, generally by about 5 o'clock this building is empty, except for the office right next door to me, who play music, really loud conspiracy podcasts. I've had to complain about them smoking weed on a Sunday night once, because the weed smell was working its way through into my office. So generally speaking, when I do videos like the longer Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles videos or the Power Rangers vs Super Sentai ones, my only option is to film them through the night, because I can't really film them in the day because my noisy neighbours, my noisy pot smoking neighbours, and then that means that then I just sort of get into a nocturnal pattern. But also it means that I can experiment a little bit more to see, because obviously I have a worldwide audience, it's not just UK, even though in some ways I do think having a British accent has hindered me a little bit, because I think generally speaking the people that do the kind of content that I do have American accents, and for some people it's good to have something different. For some people, they don't like different. Excuse me, I'm getting a bit flabby. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. But obviously, I do have an American audience. In fact, when you look at the analytics, I arguably have a bigger American audience than I have European audience. So I want to be able to try and sort of satisfy them as well. So I'm just experimenting with things alone. But I'm essentially nocturnal right now. I've been editing through the nights. I woke up... This stream starts 7 PM UK time. My wife woke me up at 5 PM UK time after going to bed at say, 9 AM. I think because I've been editing throughout the night. So I'm a little bit nocturnal at the moment. I don't even remember why I got onto the fact that I'm nocturnal at the moment. I'm rambling a little bit. Anyway. Yeah, the TMNT video did get off to a good start, surprisingly, actually. Because I always remember, again on Cinemassacre, when they were talking more about video games rather than the TV show, Mike Matei would sometimes start videos and goes, "We're doing another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video," because it always does well. It always gets in the algorithm, and it's like, well, I want to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles videos, but it's been a slow start. But this one, it seems to have started quite strong. So that's good to see. But anyway, yeah, I was rambling a little bit there. Sorry. You can tell that I haven't slept. Shinx, Horsey, Yanma, Morpeko, Coughing. Ooh, we'll put you down there. Zarude, Energy, Team Yeltel, Thwacky, and Tropius. We have Toxtricity VMAX. But again, it is not normal Toxtricity. It is shiny Toxtricity, so he's sort of a maroony pink colour rather than his normal purple. I don't think we've hardly gone for for a while now, we've hardly gone through a pack without getting a V or a VMAX. Watch me just now sort of jinx that. Snom, Spinarak, Q-Fant, Rowlat. Okay, let's put these down for a sec. I'll talk to you about these in a sec. Steel Energy, Ball Guy, Dartrix, Floatzel, and Horsey. Now then, we have the Haunted Ice Cream with Alcremie. No. That is not a Pokemon. That is not an acceptable Pokemon. It is not camouflaged as a plant or anything like that. It is a Haunted Ice Cream. Oh, and then we got another Greedent V. Greedent's fine. He's a squirrel. No problem with that. Gossifleur, Snom, Trapinch, Nickit. Oh, we got a couple there. Dartrix, Eldegoss, Luxio, and Cacnea. So here, we're getting to the point where the pile might start falling over. So we have Greedent, but it's not normal Greedent. It is shiny Greedent, although the colouring of shiny Greedent is not that dissimilar to normal Greedent. And then we have a full art Skylar. Search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck after. So this is sort of the accompaniment to PokeKid. So with PokeKid, it's search your deck for a Pokemon. With Skylar, it's search your deck for a trainer card. So two quite useful cards. And I hope they do a normal version of that, because you wouldn't really want to use the full art version in a game. But Greedent is just a squirrel, kind of boring. It's not a Pokemon, it's just... Yeah, it's... I see your point. It doesn't have anything particularly special about it. But again, things like Caterpie and Metapod and Butterfree, technically speaking, they don't really have anything special about them either, because they're just, or unlike Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, they're just based on normal animals anyway. Horsey is just a seahorse. Weasel, Shinx, Coughing, Trapinch, Rowlet. Rowlet's just an owl. Oh, we got another Toxtricity. Oh, wait, hang on. Is that a different... No, it's not a different one. I'll put those down for a sec. Okay. That's not... No, that's the same... That's the same Toxtricity VMAX as we just had before. It's just... So we got two of those now. And we have Delmi... Ah, okay. Yeah, so the Haunted Anchor. We'll not talk about that one. Yeah, I can understand why you'd find some of the more just sort of normal animals a bit more boring, as opposed to having something about them like, say for example with Charmander, it's not just a lizard, it's also a fire lizard. Actually, interestingly, I don't know where I saw it now. It might have been on Instagram. In fact, where's my phone? I'm gonna have a pile of cards fall over in a sec. I saw somebody doing what... I don't know if it's going to become their thing. It was a new Instagram channel where they were drawing Pokemon. It's like what ifs, like if they were of different types. So somebody was doing what if Charmander was a water type. Bear with me one second. I'm just going to try and find it, because I think I saved it on Instagram. Yeah, there it is. This is going to be a bit weird because I'm going to be showing you my phone on it. But it's like, what if Charmander was a water type? And basically, they've drawn it already, and they're just using an eraser tool. Now, I don't know if this person's going to be doing this more and more, but I thought that was really cool, that they're sort of doing... They're showing you what Pokemon may have looked like if they were different types. So it's sort of like a cross between Charmander and Vaporeon, almost. I thought that was really cool. I don't know if they're doing any more of these. Oh, they have done. They've done a few. So I realise now we're just playing Instagram videos on a YouTube stream, but... So what if... I haven't seen this one. What if Squirtle was a grass type? It looks a little bit like a Bulbasaur's head. But yeah, if check this guy out, William Boom. he's started doing a few of these things. It's just like, what if Pokemon were all the time? Oh, actually, he's done loads. When I first checked this, I could only find the Charmander one. But yeah, go check him out because he's actually it's really interesting to see the Pokemon of different types. And as you say, then they're not just normal animals. They are sort of obvious. There's actually something Pokemon about them. Rowlet, Trapinch, Snom, Grookey, Spinarak, Tropius, Rotom, and Cramorant. Again, so we got Poltergeist, where it's just, or Poltergeist. Oh, Poltergeist. It's a teapot. And then Crobat VMAX. Poltergeist. God. I guess you can. I don't know about like the anchors and things, but I'm assuming things like Alchemy and Poltergeist is meant to be playing off the Britishness. Are they meant to be like afternoon tea or something? I don't know. I don't like afternoon tea. Coughing, Cacnea, Gossifleur, Snom, Trapinch, Ditto. Oh, we had the Ditto. No, we didn't have the Ditto VMAX of the shiny one. The blue one. We had the pink one. So we got shiny Ditto V. We got Rillaboom, Gym Trainer, Luxio, and Dartrix. I can only assume that that's what it's meant to be playing off the Britishness of afternoon tea. Although I know it's a bit sacrilege for a British person, but I don't like tea. Tootle, Spinarak, Cufant, Gossifleur, Snom. Oh, we got a reverse holo, Celebi. Oh, then we got another Ditto VMAX, although it's not shiny Ditto, it is normal Ditto VMAX. TBL, Towel, Eldegoss, and Luxio. Spinarak, Snom, Horsey. I had so many of Snom. Or maybe I'm just looking out for it more. Morpeko. Oh, we got another one of the sort of rainbow holy Kyogres. As in holy, the paint, not holy like sainted. Thwacky, Rotom, and Rusted Sword. Spinarak, Cufant, Gossifleur, Snom, Coughing, another one of those double Vs. And then a shiny Luxray. Thwacky, Cramorant, and Rusted Shield. Oh yeah, I hadn't really made the connection about the fact that Cinderace is a footballer. Based on a secret agent, you say? Well, which one was Secret Agent? I'm not really a hot drink person at all. Never mind tea or coffee. I don't really get hot drinks. I'll have the occasional hot chocolate in winter, but... Oh, Intellia. Oh yeah, okay. Alright, okay. Oh, there's something shiny back there. Coughing, Morpeko, Yanma, Horsey, Shinx, another coughing. Oh no, what? That's a... Okay, I'll put those down for a sec. Water Energy. Camerad, Thracket. So with the Dark type reverse hollows, sometimes it takes a while to actually be able to tell that it's a reverse hollow. They're too close to the normal ones. And then, of course, we've got the Delmise VMAX, which we're not going to talk about because this is an anchor. Yeah, I got the Galarian Weezing being sort of a Industrial Revolution type guy. Morpeko, Buizel, Nickit, Cacnea, Cufant, Frostmoth Reverse Hollow, another Morpeko V, Rusted Sword, Ball Guy, and Team Yell Towel. Oh yeah, because Inteleon even has like a water finger gun, doesn't he? I don't know if it's necessarily just UK or it might be UK and Ireland, because some of the... I remember there's a forest in there that's meant to be playing off a few Irish folklore things, I think. I can't remember, it's been a while since I played the game now. Cacnea, Gossifleur, Snom, Trapinch, Nickit. Is that a reverse hollow? No. Oh, put that down. Manaphy, Team Yeltal, Thwacky, and Tropius. IndieDV. And a shiny version of it too. Not really sure what IndieD is meant to be. But that's fine. Was during your turn you may heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon as well. I'm assuming that ability is only active when they're in the active spot. When you're on the bench you can't heal 20 damage. Or maybe you can, I don't know. We're actually getting towards the end of Shiny Fates, but we'll be getting into Shiny Star V soon. Yanma, Snom, Cufant, Grookey, Buizel, Reverse Hollow, Rotom, Zarude, Dark Energy, Luxio, Dartrix, and Buizel. Manaphy is a good card to play for this ability as well. Is that for healing, you mean? Snom, Cufant. Oh wait, oh no, not Manaphy, you said. Grookey, Buizel, Gossifleur, Crobat. Oh, so we got Crobat V and VMAX now. Bench damage, okay. Rusted Shield, Floatzel, Thwacky, and Yanma. My phone over here before it falls off the table. Oh, and also that. Sorry if you're hearing my phone a little bit. I've got it on loud, just because that's an email about a potential future TV show that some of you have heard a little bit about. That may or may not happen, but we'll see. Horsey, Cufant, Tutel, Yanma, Morpeko. Oh, another one of the Rainbow Holy Reshirums. Dreadnought, Dartrix, Floatzel, and Rotom. Once we get to Shiny Star V, I'll put all these cards in a box, otherwise I'm going to have an avalanche. Tutel, Morpeko, Yanma, Grookey, Nickit, Reverse Hollow Yanma, Shiny Thievul, Rusted Shield, Team Yeltal, and Ball Guy. Sort of speed up a little bit as we get to the end of Shiny Fates, so we can move on to Shiny Star V. Because I think we've seen just about every... Unless there's a Charizard lurking in here, we've seen just about all we can see for Shiny Fates, I think. Snom, Trapinch, Nickit, Buizel, Shinx, Phalanx V, Frostmoth, Tropius, Cramorant, and Rusted Shield. It's been a nice expansion, actually, this. A bit more interesting than some of the ones we've done. Nickit, Buizel, Shinx, Coughing, Trapinch, Cramorant V Max. We had Cramorant V, but not Cramorant V Max. Reverse Hollow Frostmoth, Dartrix, Cramorant, not Cramorant V, and Rusted Shield. One thing, when we get to the Japanese cards, I'm going to realise how few names I actually know off by heart without having to be able to read them. Rowlet, Tootle, Morpeko, Coughing, Gossifleur, Galarian, Mr. Mime. Do not like Mr. Mime. He's creepy. Eldegoss, Luxio, and Bulguy. Shinx, Coughing, Weasel, Trapinch, Rowlet, Eldegoss, Reverse Hollow, Professor's Research, Dartrix, Floatzel, and Rusted Sword. Yeah, we're not seeing anything particularly new coming out of these now. There's only a few packs left. But we have 5 boxes of Shiny Star V, so I don't think we're done yet. Spinarak, Snom, Grookey, Eevee, Morpeko. Oh, Boltun's shiny. Boltund, we hadn't seen that yet. Shiny Rillaboom we had. Rusted Shield, Floatzel, and Thwackey. Coughing, Gossifleur, Rowlet, Cufant, Spinarak, Manaphy. What was this the one you were saying about bench damage? Once during turn, this Pokemon in the active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your... Or is it Manaphy V? Oh, I was going to say that's the first Rainbow VMAX we've come across. Oh, actually, that's got a nice texture to it. It's got sort of stars and hearts in the background. I don't know if that's coming through. Let's see if I can catch the light with it. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's on an Alcremie V. VMAX even. Floatzel, Tropius, and Gym Trainer. Eevee, Horsey, Cacnea, Shanks, Nickit, another Double V, Yanmega, Floatzel, Tropius, and Bulguy. Running out of opportunities now to get that Charizard, but we could maybe find a Japanese version of it. Snom, Grookey, Eevee, Morpeko, Tootle, Team Yell Towel, Zarude, Rotom, Eldegoss, and Tropius. So how many have we got left? This is all. This is the pile that we have left of Shining Fates. Horsey, Grookey, Morpeko, Spinarak, Weasel, Rotom, another Alcremie VMAX, Tropius, Gym Trainer, and Rotom. Oh, the amount of energy cards and things are all... Oh, everything's just starting to fall. Well, okay. We've still got maybe 10 packs to go, Steve. You're not Steve, you're Shane. But that's directed at Steve as well. There's still time. Grookey, Eevee, Morpeko, Tootle, Nickit, Reverse Hollow, Coughing, Zarude, Tropius, Rusted Shield, and Rotom. It just goes to show how rare the Charizards actually are. We've proved it quite a few times now. Coughing, Morpeko, Horsey, Spinarak, Rowlet, Floatzel, Zarude, Thwackey, Tropius, and Rotom. In fact, what is Rotom's ability? I keep seeing that, but I haven't actually read it. Roto Choice. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 item cards. that have the word Rotom in their name. That's not as useful as I thought. Spinarak, Cufant, Gossifleur, Snom, Coughing, Team Yell, Towel, Yanmega, Rusted Shield, Rotom, and Cramorant. Chewtle, Spinarak, Cufant, Gossifleur, Snom. No, we had Galarian Surfetched, but not Galarian Farfetched. So that's the first one we've seen of those. Zarude, Rusted Sword, Dartrix, and Ball Guy. I'm going to have to do a little bit of admin in terms of tidying up before we get onto Shiny Star V. Because everything, if you could see the state of my desk at the moment, everything is just falling over everything else. Horsey, Cufant, Chewtle, Yanma, Morpeko. Steve! Okay, put that down for a sec. Celebi, Eldegoss, Dartrix. Yeah, I don't care what's in the rest of the pack. Steve, you did it! My favourite Charizard design of all time. You failed me on Darkness Ablaze and Champion's Path, but you pulled through on Celebrations and Shiny Fates. You still deserve your name. You still deserve your name as Steve the Lucky Charizard. You might even get your own t-shirt. Ah, you're not Ditto after all. I told you, Shane. And to be fair, he's still got a chance with Darkness Ablaze. Oh, I mean, I might as well tell you. So, obviously, when I started doing these streams, I've sort of put them together so that they're sort of theme streams. But I have just lots of odds and ends and things. So we were going to do a stream of opening 100 Pokemon boosters, just of any type of any type of booster. It's not ones where it's not, I don't necessarily have enough to do a whole stream on it, but we sort of collected them together, and there's got over 100 of them. And obviously we had some Darkness Ablaze ones from when we did, I think, Celebrations or something, where they were in some of the boxes and the tins. So we're going to be doing a stream at some point where it's opening 100. Oh, it's more than 100, but over 100 Pokemon boosters, and there are still some Darkness Ablaze in there. So Steve, you still have a chance there. Although, I say that, so as I said, some streams I've decided not to do, and I've opened up some of the packs and then I've sent them off to be graded. So this will have to go with it now, but I do have the Darkness Ablaze version of this, but it's not the Darkness Ablaze version, it's the Japanese version and the Korean version, because they're not hard to find. The Japanese and Korean versions of the non-shiny Charizard of the design come in they come in starter sets, so you just guaranteed it. So we do actually have that Charizard, and you will see it when the graded cards come back. So it's just the Champion's Path one that we weren't able to find. And obviously the Japanese version of that is impossible to find, because there's only somewhere between 300 and 600 in existence. So maybe at some point we'll treat ourselves to the Champion's Path one. Certainly not now. Spent enough money on all of these. Right, we still got how many? What, six odd packs to go? And if that's another one, I'm gonna scream. Chewtle, Eevee, Horsey, Cacnea, Shinx. No, it's a Toxtricity VMAX and a Delmise V. Bull Guy, Team Yeltal, and Tropius. If we were to get more than one, I'd have to do one of those, like, YouTuber thumbnails where they're, like, holding them up and it's like, I don't know, it's like, which every YouTuber seems to do. What? Why is everything so shocking to YouTubers? But this is the sad thing. They do it because it works. When a YouTuber's like this, in the thumbnail, it works. Even if it's not shocking in any way whatsoever that they're talking about. Cacnea, Morpeko, Snom, Horsey, Nickit, Poltegeist, Delmise V, Floatzel, Wacky, and Gym Trainer. Spinarak, Snom, Grookey, Eevee, Morpeko, Reverse Hollow Rotom, Dreadnought, Gym Leader, Team Yeltal, and Luxio. Right, 3 to go. Oh. Just flinging a Spinarak around. Shinx, Horsey, Yanma, Shiny Bull Guy, Zarude, Cramorant, Rotom, and Rusted Shield. 2 more. Chewtle, Eevee, Horsey, Cacnea, Shinx, Shiny Trapinch, Boss's Orders, Ball Guy, Floatzel, and Team Yeltal. And finally, in Shining Fates at least, actually, that would be an interesting experiment, wouldn't it? If we were to get something, it doesn't necessarily need to be another Charizard, but if we were to get something that's a little bit more exciting, and with my purple hair now, if I had my, like, comically shocked thumbnail, I wonder if that would make any difference to the YouTube algorithm. I think I'm going to try that. We'll do that at some point in the stream. We'll do a comically cliche shocked face with my purple hair. In fact, I might even spray my hair even more purple, because this has now been dyed. Initially it was just a spray, this is now dyed purple, but I have the spray, which is even brighter purple. And that's a YouTuber thing, I guess. Gossiflow, Snare, Professor's Research, Zaruda, Wacky. Okay, so that is the end of Shining Fates. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of tidying up a little bit here, just to stop the avalanche of cards. Because you'll be able to see just how many cards we get through in these streams. And these are just all the non-shiny versions. So I do actually use, you know, when you get the Elite Trainer box and you get those little dividers, I do actually use them. Because that's the cards that we pulled that are just the sort of regular cards. And then we have all the shiny cards. And then we have all the energy and digital cards as well. Because, I mean, I'll just give you an example. Just pull all of these through. And these are all of the things that end up at the side of my desk when we do these streams. It starts off so well in that I have piles, and then the piles all fall over. I mean, I have piles of cards, not I have piles. And then they all fall over, and then it takes me like 2 hours after the stream trying to organise them all. So let me just... I'm going to have to do this before we move on to the next one, otherwise we won't have any room whatsoever. We've got to make room for all the Charizards that we find. I'm looking forward to when... Well, I was going to say, I'm looking forward to when Pokemon Live comes out, because the sheer amount of digital cards, digital packs, I should say, that we've got from doing these streams, and I'm going to give some of them away as well when Pokemon Live comes out. Although, I've heard that the reason it's been delayed so much is that it's really bad. People have been doing the beta on it. They've been saying that, yeah, the reason why it's been so delayed is that it's just really bad. And it's really weird because both Pokemon and Pokemon trading card game, like social media pages, the Instagram and so on, when there's a new expansion coming out, they show some of the new cards, but they use footage from Pokemon Live. And every time that they do, the comment section is full of people going, don't use Pokemon Live footage to show us the new cards when Pokemon Live is not out and you haven't said when it's coming out. But they continue to do it. And I think the beta is only in certain countries as well. I know it's in Canada. I don't know if it's in the US as well. Certainly not in the UK. And Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, as far as I'm aware, even though we did our wrap-up goodbye video, because I assumed it was going soon, I believe it's still live. I haven't opened it in a little while since we did that video. I've been kind of waiting for live, but anyway. Hang on, let me just tidy our shiny pile up a little bit. Because we got a lot of holo cards. It's not available in the States. I think it is in Canada, but maybe not the States. Right, so what we're going to do now is open up cards from Shiny Star V. Now, technically speaking, this is not the same as Shiny Fates, but it is in some ways. So some of these cards will be the same, and we can get the Japanese version of this card. And the concept is the same in that they are shiny Pokemon a lot of the time, not just shiny cards. But I'm just having a look. I've got, because obviously I don't have a physical card list, I've got a digital one up on my screen here. I'm just having a little scroll through, and it's not quite the same. Interestingly, the Zacian and Zamazenta that we got from the Elite Trainer Box Plus that I did a video a couple of weeks ago on the non-live stream. Apparently these are in this set. I don't know if they're in the boosters or whether you have to get that in a box or something, but apparently, because I don't think that was in a set in the West. I think it was only in those Elite Trainer boxes, whereas apparently it's in Shiny Star V. Again, I don't know whether it's in the boxes, but either way, we have 4 boxes here. In fact, 4 boxes and a couple of boosters as well. So we will have a look through and see what we can find. I mean, I can already see that Snom is the same, and I can already see the Eviltal is the same. Eviltal, is that how it's pronounced? And then the Rotom is the same, and the Ball Guy is the same, and the Coughing, although that doesn't look like Galarian Coughing, and then the Thwacky is the same. So some of these will be the same, some of them will be different, some of them will be exclusive to this set, some will be exclusive to the Western set. But I believe some of sometimes the Japanese shiny cards are nicer, because they also have like a silver outline to them as well. I don't have any Korean cards this time round, but we're going to open these up and see what we can find. I mean, there's a shiny Charizard right there. On the pack, that is. And yeah, it's an interesting thing with the Japanese one where they do this, they put advertising in, and I'm surprised they haven't done that in the West. And I did like it when we went through the 25th anniversary set, and they had like checklists and things. So yeah, these are Pokemon that I cannot remember the name of. Oh, there's Galarian Mr. Mime. That's the Rusted Shield. And and that's not Cramorant. So what's that name again? I'm awful with the names of some Pokemon. So it's Steel type. What's it called? Corviknight, that's it. And they go, oh, we got a Gengar in this set. And then, oh, Lapras V. And then, okay, so this is what I wanted to show you as well. The Japanese cards. Oh, no, it's not this one. Oh, no, it is, but I can't quite catch the light. I'm trying to show you on this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to catch the light properly. Japanese cards have different types of shiny as well. They have these sort of pearlescent effects. The only thing I can do is sort of try and move it in the light and see if you can catch some of the patterns on it. This one's not a very good example, but as we go through, there's going to be a few more of these where it's a completely... I don't know how to describe it. It's a completely different type of hollow. Well, no, it's not hollow. It's like a... But, well, it is. I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this. It's like holographic rather than just shiny. I'll show you a better example. There'll be a better example. Oh, you missed Jared. You missed the Charizard. Can you step away again in like 10 minutes or so? Okay, so that's just the normal version of the card. We've got Galarian Mr. Rhyme. We got Toxicroak. Got Galarian Berserker. We got... Oh god, I'm terrible with names. When I see them in Japanese, my mind just goes blank. Because also they've got... Sorry, no, let me just block this. Because also they've got different Japanese names as well. Let me just hide user on the channel. We haven't had these guys for a while now. Dragapult, anyway, is what his name is. Yeah, the Dragapult V and VMAX. That's different to the ones... I don't know, I've got a few that have gone off to be graded. We'll show that in a... here we go. So the bull guy... again, this might not be the best example, but can you see the sort of pearlescent effect on it? Now, we don't get this in the West. And I don't think you get them on the Korean cards either. You maybe get them on the Chinese, I don't know. But it's something specific to... Hang on. I'm getting notifications on my phone. One sec. Let me turn the volume down. Oh, that's my wife taking the dogs out for a walk, and it's the front camera catching her. You got Feebas. Oh, there we go. So we got. So we were talking earlier about sort of Center Scorch, and how it's sort of Scorbunny and not Center Scorch. That is Scorbunny and Cinderace. Sometimes they are pictured with a football, and we in the UK. I don't know if they did... Well, they probably did this throughout Europe, but they probably didn't do it in America. They did a promotion around Euro 2020, which didn't take place in 2020. It took place in 2021 because of COVID. But they released starter Pokemon like Scorbunny and... well, they also had a Pikachu one as well, so it wasn't all just that generation. But they were all playing football, basically. And... in the UK, or in England at least, you could get them with an England shirt on. And I think you could get them throughout Europe with different coloured shirts on. But obviously because of COVID, it all got messed up. So basically, they were free. If you went into... Well, I say free. If you went into Game, which is like GameStop here in the UK... Well, they have GameStop in Ireland, but it's like GameStop in the UK. If you spent over £15 on... Pokemon card stuff, or just Pokemon stuff in general, you could get one of these cards for free. Not this one, but one with football on. But because of COVID, and with the fact that Euro 2020 got delayed so much, the distribution of them just got all messed up. And also, because of COVID, there was a shortage of Pokemon cards. So in the end, they were like, well, if you just buy any Pokemon stuff from us, you can get one of these cards. However, there was a Pikachu one, and the only way to get that was if you were an adult, but you ran a football team for kids, and you had to apply to the FA, the Football Association or something, and then go through Nintendo or the Pokemon Company, and then you'd get sent a box of them or something. So they're incredibly rare. So I've got a full set of just the starter Pokemon ones, which I'll show you when we get to our 100 Pokemon booster ones, but the Pikachu one is almost impossible to find. Oh, okay, hang on. Wait. There's loads of shiny cards in this set. Hang on. So first of all, there's Rotom one. Again, see if I can catch it. It's got that sort of pearlescent effect. And then as we were going through, we've got the not Dragapult. Oh wait, no, we haven't got the Japanese version of it yet. Did we find this in the... Hang on, I'm getting confused between what we found in the English set and the Japanese set. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, we found... Let's just compare these two, because they look different to me. They are different. And this is closer to the one that I thought... I think I had a Crobat VMAX in a set. Have I sent it off to be graded? I don't know. But it was this more sort of glittery effect as opposed to this version. So the actual... The English version is very different to the Japanese version in that case. But these Japanese packs seem to have... Like, there's the Marnie there, and you seem to get like up to 4 shiny cards in a pack, plus the pearlescent card as well. So you seem to get so much more than... Yeah, it's not quite shiny, it's the sort of pearl effect. So you seem to get 4 or 5 shiny cards per pack, rather than just the 1 or 2 that you'd get in the English packs. Oh, that's better. Look at how the phalanx is. Galarian Berserker, Centiskorch. Oh, that is the... I think that's the type of... obviously, I don't read Japanese, but I think that's the Fire Energy card where... I'm pretty sure it's not in Shining Fates. It's where if you've got a Charizard where you need to... Actually, this is a good example. The G-Max Welfare. Discard 2 energy cards from this Pokemon. If you're using... It might be this one, I don't know. There is a English language version of this. If you were to discard those 2 cards, you can immediately get them back. So you're not actually discarding them. Got the Frostmouth, and then... Oh, you got a Zacian V. Or is that the Zamazenta V? I never remember which one's which with the Zacian and Zamazenta. That's the shield. That's Zamazenta, isn't it? And then we got Q-Fant, but again, this isn't shiny, as it were. I just need to look in the thing over here to see if I can This isn't the best example of them. Some of the other sets that we've had have got like different patterns put in the pearlescent effect. But it's an interesting idea because, well, it's just something that we don't get. I suppose I could start building a deck with... Because if I have the English versions of the card, and I have the Japanese version as well, then I can understand what the Japanese card is saying, even though I don't read it. Got Clefairy, and then you got the... there's the Rusted Shield. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, God, there's so many... There's too many shiny cards, I can't keep up. So there's the Score Bunny one. However, this is not the shiny version. It's not a reverse holo version. It is the sort of holographic pearlescent one. But then... Oh god, there's loads. So we've got the Lapras V again. And then we've got... So we've got the Kyogre. But that looks different to the one that we... And see if I'm just going to see if I can catch... Can you see the pattern on that as well? See if I can catch the light. Not doing a very good job of it. Oh, there we go. I think just when I went through there, sort of caught a pattern on it. But that doesn't look the same as the English language one. Let me see if I can find that one from our shiny pile. I feel a bit overwhelmed with the Japanese packs because there's just so many in them. So many shiny cards in them. Oh no, I think it is the same. Oh, but the texture is different. That's why. the Japanese card actually comes off a lot shinier than the English language card because there is a very different texture pattern to it. The Japanese card's nicer. And that's not just me being... I don't even know what the word is. Is it weeb? Is that the word? I don't automatically think all Japanese things are better, but so far, the idea that you get so many shiny cards in one pack, I'm all for that. You got Ghastlies and Doubles and Mr. Glory, Mr. Rhyme, and it's Frostmouth, Toxicole. Oh, we got the Ditto VMAX, so we can compare that as well. And then we got the Pearlescent. We're not going to talk about that card. Where was Ditto? Not the blue Ditto. Because we never got the blue Ditto VMAX, did we? We just got the normal pink Ditto VMAX. There he is. This one looks exactly the same, to be fair. This one doesn't look any different. Apart from the language, obviously. That one looks exactly the same. Which hasn't been the case for all of these so far. Because like I say, they're not... Oh, actually, the texture is slightly different. But not a lot. But like I say, so... Shining Fates and Shiny Star V are the same set and they're not. So there's different stuff in some. And then the same in others. It's kind of hard to explain. I think Japanese sets come out more often. So the Western sets sometimes amalgamate things or mix things up a little bit. Trubbish is another one. It's a bag of rubbish. Why? Souffleur, and then... Oh, so we got a Zacian that isn't Zacian V. I don't think that was in Shining Fates. And then we got Inteleon, which again I don't think was in Shining Star V. And then we got a Zacian V, which again I don't think was in Shining Fates. So I think Shiny Star V looks like it's the big... Because according to this card list, there's 199 cards in Shiny Star V, so it looks to be like the much bigger set. And then you got the Tootle there. Does that have a pearlescent effect on it? No. Oh no, it does. It's just very subtle. You have to catch the light just right. So yeah, it looks like Shiny Star V is the bigger set. Ah, actually, this is quite good. So, in terms of the advertising that you get into these packs, here's one for one of the starter sets. So I was saying earlier about the Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. So in the 8th grading video, I talked about the Blastoise VMAX card, and I was saying about the Japanese Charizard one, and also now Venusaur. They come in starter sets. So this is an advert here for the starter set. So as you can see, it's got a little window in it. So you're guaranteed a Venusaur VMAX. If actually, this is the weird thing. With Blastoise and Venusaur in the Japanese starter sets, you're guaranteed 2 of them in a pack. So 2 Blastoise or Venusaur VMAXs. In the Charizard set, you're only guaranteed 1. You do also get the V as well, but that gives you an idea of how desirable Charizards are compared to the others. Blastoise, you get 2 of them, guaranteed. Venusaur, you get 2 of them guaranteed. Charizard, you only get 1 guaranteed. But that's quite good that we came across that. No, I don't know what V stands for. It just seems to be a random letter that they get. You got more Pico. There's another one of those fire energies. We got another one of the Dragapults, but it's not Dragapult V. We got Boltons V. And then we got more pearlescent cards. It's hard to tell sometimes, and I don't know if it's because the studio lights. It's sometimes hard to see the pearlescent effect. You just sort of, when you're going through, it just looks not shinier, glossier than the other packs, than the other cards. But no, I don't know what V stands for. And obviously, in the Japanese sets, it's still V. Like, even when the whole title of something is in Japanese, it still uses the Latin letter V. So, I have no idea what it's meant to mean. I'm sure there's a reason. Dubwool, Pokeguy, Thwackey, Galarian Zigzagoon. Okay, so we can compare that one, actually. We've got Rillaboom, Milotic, and Crobat. Is that... No, that's Dragapult, isn't it? We got a Galarian Zigzagoon, didn't we? Wherever that was. Let's go through the shiny pile. And see if we can compare that. I thought we did anyway. Wasn't it quite late on? Oh no, that was Crobat. Because we got one there. Where are you? I can't find the Galarian Zigzagoon. Oh well, we can compare the Crobat anyway. Because this looks to be exactly the same. Yeah, it is, and even to the point, you won't be able to see this on camera particularly, but some bits are sort of glossy and some bits are matte. So in that case, the Japanese and the English language ones are exactly the same. Unless the text is different, but who knows? Because I don't read it. The Galarian Mr. Mime, again, Serpika, Psychic Energy, Dark Energy, Galarian Psychic. Okay, hang on. Put these down. Steve! So. Huh. I mean, they are slightly different. In fact, the Japanese one is much shinier than the English one. It's much more glittery too. We have found... Well, that's a surprise. 2 of the super desirable Charizard VMAXs. One in English. They are different, actually. Looking at them, the Japanese one is much shinier, much more glittery. Sorry, I'm not very good for stream. Not very good on a stream. That sort of shocked me quite a lot, actually. But we've managed to find 2 of those, considering how hard they have been to find in other streams. Well, let's try and find a 3rd. Okay, so that's warranted now. The super cliche YouTube thumbnail thing. We're going to do that. And I'll try and come up with some super clickbaity title about how many Charizards we managed to find. Oh, look how cute the Galarian Ponyta is. It's just ridiculously cute. Toxtricity, Zacian, Zamazenta. Ah, there we go. So that's an advert for the Blastoise one. So again, you get the Blastoise VMAX guarantee. This is quite useful, actually, getting these advertising bits in these packs. So you get the Blastoise and the Venusaur set, and then you also get the Charizard one. But the Charizard one, yeah, you get one less than all the others. Oh, that's a cute version of that. Toxicroak. Oh, we got a Rillaboom VMAX, but it's not. I can't handle all these shiny cards. So obviously we also got the Pearlescent Toxel, but the Rillaboom VMAX is not shiny Rillaboom. That is normal Rillaboom. So whilst we saw the shiny version, not the shiny card, shiny version of the Pokemon, while we saw the shiny version of Rillaboom in the English set, now we got the non-shiny version of Rillaboom. But I do feel like with this sheer amount of shiny cards in the Japanese sets, you do feel more likely to find stuff. There's another one of those Gengars, Duraludon. There's a Rillaboom V to go with the Rillaboom V Max. You won't believe what. Now that is a clickbaity title. Although then I can't show the Charizards. I suppose I could do like a highlights video of some of the stuff we found from PokeMondays. Or top 10 cards found in... Let's notice all the sort of the pearlescent ones seem to have the same pattern, more or less. So that's with that sort of Haunter one there. Tutor, Rusted Shield. Oh, okay. So we've got Hooper, Toxtricity. We've got another one of these Crobat V Maxes. So this is more like it in terms of the shiny part of the Shiny Star V, or the Shiny Fates. In fact, so this is the shiny version of Cinderace, and it's that sort of signature style that is be known for Shiny Fates as well. But as I say, you are so much more likely to find shiny cards in the Japanese packs, because obviously these are a pack of 10 cards, just like the not UK, but the Western set. But you just get so much more. Only is it 5 or 6 of the cards are regular, and then the rest are all shiny. So you got Clefable, and then you got another Rillaboom VMAX there, and then obviously you got the pearlescent ones as well. But you are so much more likely to pull something interesting out of a Japanese. In fact, I'm not even going through all the cards, because I'm sort of skipping through to the back to see what we get, because we're getting a lot out of them. We've got the Ditto V. Which looks exactly the same as the normal. It's not normal. It's just the Western version. It's just normal to us. Pulling 2 Charizards would be worth it. You know what would be even more so? Pulling 3. So I'm going a little bit quickly through these, because I've got another one of those Kyogres. Got another Rillaboom V. The Japanese packs have got... Oh wait, I'm putting stuff in the wrong pile because I'm getting excited. And the piles are getting my shiny pile's quite big already because of the... We've only gone through one box, and the amount of shiny cards we pulled out of Japanese boosters. Obviously, I'm always going to want to go through the English language one because I play the game as well. But yeah, if you're doing this just from a collector's point of view, Shiny Star V. I mean, your chances of getting something good in a pack is pretty high, it looks like. That Bunnelby we've seen in a different set. See, this is what I mean. So things get pushed around into different... I'm sure we've seen that somewhere else. That sort of psychedelic Bunnelby. Can't remember what it was. It might have been Darkness Ablaze, could have been Champion's Path, or could have been Hidden Fates. I don't know. But that was not in Shining Fates in the Western set. It was in something else. Rotom, Tutor. We got a different type of Cinderace. Galarian Coughing. Oh, we got an Eviltal. No, Eternatus even. Sorry, Eternatus V. And I think there is a black and gold Eternatus V and VMAX as well. Oh wait, I've got 5 boxes. I thought I had 4 boxes. What? Even better. This is the last pack of box 1. Because I also had a few loose boosters as well. Zigzagoon, Centiskorch. Oh, that's a nice one of... see, my mind goes blank. We've pulled loads of these. Dreedent. We've pulled loads of these today, but because it's in Japanese... Oh, wow. that looks different to the one that we saw. Oh, and then we got Eternatus V Max. Oh, God. I can't keep up with all of these. The Japanese packs are too good. So we got the Yveltal there, which looks pretty similar to the one in the Western version, and it looks like it's the same sort of moves as well. But then, yeah, in 2 packs, we go from Eternatus V to Eternatus V Max as well. Although Eternatus always looked a bit weird to me. It's kind of hard to... Sorry, my head's spinning a little bit because the Japanese packs are... I mean, you're just pulling good cards left and right. I mean, not even left and right. It's in all different directions. I'm ripping into the second box already. This might not be the best in terms of presenting, but I want to get to it. I do kind of want that blue Ditto V Max. Because I do love Ditto. And we didn't find it in the... We found plenty of the pink one. And we found the blue Ditto, but not the V Max. I've seen this Frostmouth quite a lot. That is Frostmouth, isn't it? Frostmouth from... Yeah. I got another Zacian V. And then we're not even going to talk about Haunted Swords. In fact, I'm looking at the card list here as well, and there's like a Zamani card and there's a Rose card and things that, again, I'm sure we've seen in different sets in the West. Ghastly, Wacky. So that's another Zamazenta. And then we got a Center Scorch V Max. Did we get that in the Western set? I don't think we did. Or maybe I've got it in a different set. This is where things start to get a bit confusing because even when we're pulling something really cool like that, I can't remember if we saw it in the Western set or in a completely different Western set. This has been a bit sort of confusing to the senses, especially when I haven't slept much. The fact that there's so many good cards, but also a lot of them are relating to stuff that we've seen elsewhere. Ah, that's a good one, Jared. I don't know how many more times I can block the same thing. Anyway. Skip through to the back. What have we got? Oh, we got a Dragapult V. And a different one. Again, a different one than we have in the Western set. I'm kind of just glossing over a lot of the cards now because I just want to get to see what we've got. The back of the pack. I haven't seen any energy cards in these packs so far, which is interesting. Sometimes with Japanese sets, you tend to get like shiny energy cards, which I actually quite like. I hate it when you get normal energy cards in a pack, but shiny energy cards, if you play the game, I like to have something a little bit more interesting. Oh, so there's the normal Ditto V, and we've got the Boltund, but not the blue Ditto yet. More Pico, and then... Oh wait, now. That's Gossifleur, isn't it? No, what did we have that in? We had that in a different set. Was that in the Champion's Path? The last one that we did? I'm sure we came across quite a few of these, but in a different set. I think there's a few more full arts in this set as well. I'm just scanning through the list as I go through. Oh, I see a Ditto V Max at the back, but we'll get to that. There's a Zigzagoon. Mr. Rhyme. There's another Clefable. So we got another one of the Ditto V Max. We've had quite a few of the pink Ditto V Maxes, but not the blue one. Even though it's right there on the front. And it looks like you got a shiny Lapras as well. That's actually been a special edition Lapras in Pokemon Go over the last couple of weeks. with a bow tie on. So we got another one of the Cinderace, another one of the Kyogres, another Zamazenta. So it's kind of like, it's hard to know whether to sort of highlight things, because some we've seen over and over again, either in the Western set or we've seen it in the Japanese set, and then some that we've seen before, just not tonight. So we got a shiny Bunnelby there, and then another a Zacian, but a different type of Zacian. And then we got another one of the Crobat VMAXs. I mean, V and VMAX are not scarce when it comes to the Japanese packs, that's for sure. Have we pulled a V or a VMAX in every pack so far? I think we might have. Deaden, Spinarak, Galarian Weezing, and then there's the Centiskorch rather than the Centiskorch VMAX. Centiskorch V, even. Yeah, I think we've pulled a V and a VMAX in every pack. Double colourless energy. Oh, that's one I'll keep aside. Oh, actually, I need to figure out what the language is, because there's a few extra instructions on there. But I want to know what that is, because it's got like the pearlescent effect on it. So energy cards, where they're a little bit different, I like to keep those aside because I want to be able to use them in an actual deck. That's Giovanni. And then we got... Oh. Sorry. Really loud into the microphone. Hang on a sec. That was from the Champion's Path, wasn't it? This is one of the, like... Wait, hang on a sec. So, I need to check this very quickly. Bear with me one sec. Because the Champion's Path version of this Charizard is super rare. I don't know whether the Shiny Star V one is. Shiny Star V Charizard. Like, the English language version of this goes for like 300 quid. Oh, it's not. Okay, it's not anywhere near as rare. I mean, to be fair, a 9 rated, ace grading 9 rated version of this Charizard is going for £90 on eBay. 215, 185 for the other Charizard V Max. Okay, so this isn't as rare. It's 89.50 just as is, not, and it's got 3 watches on it. So it's not as rare as the Champion's Path one, but that is the Champion's Path version of the artwork, which makes more sense in Shiny Star V because it's a shiny Charizard. So that's made up for not finding one in Champion's Path. I don't care that it's not as expensive. We were looking for this in Champion's Path, and we didn't find one. And we just found one now in Shiny Star V, and I didn't even know it was in Shiny Star V. And then we got the Reshiram Holy Code, which, again, has got a different texture to it, I think. But I'm kind of... I mean, we've still got 3 boxes to go. Oh, well, there's a lesson for you. Just go get a Japanese box if you want to find something interesting. Don't waste time with English language. I mean, obviously, depends if you want to play the game. Playing the game, that's different. If you just want something to collect for a bit of fun, I mean, it doesn't look like you can go too far wrong with... I mean, maybe it's the set, maybe it's the Shiny Star V. To be fair, again, it's a stream that I was going to do, but in the end I opened up. VMAX Climax seemed to have so many good cards in the set. Stunfisk, and then we go through in the Toxicole, Oh, there's Cramorant V that we saw in the English set. Oh, I mean, Steve, you've redeemed yourself a little bit tonight. Charizard's galore so far, and we've still got 3. Yeah, well, now less than 3, but 3 boxes to open. And Dragapult, another Trident. Oh, that's the Suicune shiny version of that we got. Then there's a Rillaboom. There's another Eternatus V. Oh, and then we've got like a... We've got sort of... Oh, it's a slightly different pattern. We've got the Pearlescent Galarian Rapidash. I'll put that aside. That's a nice one. But why did I not get to Shiny Star V earlier? Oh, I know why. Because I was kind of hoping that I would have built up a Pokemon audience by the time I got to this. The Bunnelby again, then the Sobble, Alcremie, Zacian again. Oh, there's the Lapras VMAX, which I'm sure, again, that Lapras VMAX was in a different set in the West. We got an Inteleon as well. I'm sure we've seen that before, but again, I can't tell where. And then we got a Pearlescent Sobble. I just saw how many empty packs are on my floor right now. With Rotom and then the Galarian Ponyta again. And we just found the Rapidash with Gengar. And then got a double V. That looks like a slightly different double V. Maybe it's not. Zigzagoon, Cufant, Potion, Toxicroak, Vileplume, and then another Zamazenta V. They haven't been hard to find, have they? We've been getting like either a Zacian Zamazenta or the V versions of them in just about every pack, nearly. Very off topic, but do you have a favourite biscuit? Sorry, Shane, I missed that question. I was distracted by Charizards. I mean, you can't beat just a good chocolate chip cookie, I guess. I do like bourbons, actually. Trying to think if there's anything else. I don't really eat biscuits, to be honest, because obviously I don't drink tea or anything, so I don't have anything to dunk. I mean, I can't go wrong with a chocolate-covered hobnob as well. But then again, I guess for the American audience, that's a little bit different. I don't know if you've got chocolate-covered hobnobs in America, or bourbons. Certainly have chocolate chip cookies, though. But I like a soft, chewy chocolate chip cookie with crispy edges. Anyway. I got so many shiny Charizards, no clickbait. That's the forest. That's like the Irish forest that I was talking about earlier, but I can't remember the name of it. What was the name of the forest in the game? Let me see if I can go through the card list and see if I can find it. It's a trainer card. Is it a stadium card? Glimwood. That's a Glimwood Tangle. And then we've got another Dragapult VMAX. So if you like Dragapults, we've got plenty of those. And then a Corviknight Pearlescent. Oh, hang on. Okay, so that wasn't a double colourless. It was a twin energy. But I don't know what the text says. I'll find that later. Feebas, and that's the Rusty Shield. Sorry, Rusty Sword. Haunter, Trident. That's the Galarian Surfetched. Then we've got Bolton V. Okay. Score Bunny, Pasoka, that's... What's his name again? Was it Rose? I always remember it's something a bit odd. Was it Rose? I've lost him. Where did he go on the card list? next to Marnie, wherever it's gone. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's Rose. And then the Professor's Research. That was in Celebrations, wasn't it? Oh, the 25th anniversary. Then we've got another Rillaboom V. So we've got loads of Rillabooms and Vs and VMAXs in this so far. Topscroak. Hooper. Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh no, I thought that was the VMAX. Hang on. Okay. So there's a Hooper there. Which one's this one? I don't recognise this one, and I can't read it because it's in Japanese. But it is a full art trainer. So where on the list? It should be near Poker Kid. Cara Liss. Okay, I don't know that card. And then we got the shiny Ditto V, but we still haven't found the shiny Ditto V Max. There's still time though. Still got 2 boxes. Oh, I can see one of the black and gold cards there, back there. So we'll go through those. There's the Galarian Ponyta, but not... And then they've got Duraludon, some Militech. Ah, so there's the Eternatus VMAX black and gold version. And the Eternatus... Oh, wow. Okay, hang on. So we got the Eternatus VMAX, and then the Eternatus VMAX black and gold, sort of secret rare one, both together in the same pack. Oh, wow. Okay. Because we already found Eternatus V and VMAX, and then we found another one, and we found the black and gold secret rare one. But I'm gonna have so many to go off to ace grading. I'm gonna have to have a separate. I mean, I do have a Pomelo Retro eBay store. I'm gonna have to have a separate one just for Pokemon cards at this rate, because there's only so many I can keep for my own personal collection. I mean, one of the Charizards is definitely staying in my personal collection, but at this rate, we're pulling stuff nearly every pack. I haven't got room in my little studio for all of these. We've got Clefairy, Toxicroak V. That's not Toxtricity, is it? Yes, no, Toxtricity, not Toxicroak. Toxicroak is the toad. Still haven't seen an advert for the Charizard starter set. Seen loads for the Blastoise and Venusaur. Dedan, the Shield. So another Zacian, or Zamazenta. No, that's Zacian, isn't it? And then another Dragapult V. Okay, what have we got? Galarian, not Zigzagoon. What's the evolution called? Linoon, that's it. And then... Oh! I can't remember the names without seeing them in front of me. We want the dark type. Full arts. What is that called? Grimmsnarl, that's it. That's the Grimmsnarl V, not the VMAX. There is also a VMAX version of that as well. This is a very different pace to some PokeMondays streams we've had. Coughing, Toxel, Clefairy, Galarian Wheezing. Another Eternatus VMAX. God, we've got like 4 of those so far. Another Blastoise advert, but still no Charizard one. Frostmath. Okay. Nothing particularly special there. Well, I say that. I mean, if that was a Western pack, it would have a lot of special stuff in it, but compared to the Japanese ones... And doubles... Thwacky... Another Zamazenta. Another Cramorant V. So apparently there is a Lapras, there is a different Lapras V. We've had a Lapras V and we've had a Lapras V Max, but apparently there is a different Lapras V, I think, looking at the card list next to me. Oh, we got another Centre Scorcher V Max. Seriously, have we pulled a V or a V Max in every pack? Because I think we might have. That's definitely not the way it is in Western sets. They're definitely more... I won't say stingy, but it's more elusive with the V and V Maxes. And there's another of the Yveltal sort of holy cards. Another Crobat V. Not Galarian Linoon, just normal Linoon. And then another Centre Scorch, but not Centre Scorch V. Or was it Centre Scorch V, not V Max? Even. Whew. So it's the last pack of this box, and then we have one more box to get through. And then we've got the Kyogre, and then another Crobat V Max. And we're at a point now where we're just sort of glossing over those, because they're not even seen as that special now. Right. Last box. So, not sure how many packs it is. Is it 10 packs? How many packs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 packs. 10 packs of 10 cards, 100 cards to go. We'll skip through a lot of these until we get to the back. We got the Galarian Sirfetch'd again, Duraludon. We got another Dragapult V. I just realised that normally when we wrap these streams up, I would take you through all of the shiny cards we found. But the thing is, there's been so many in this stream, I don't know if I can do that. It's a nice problem to have, but still. Another Rillaboom VMAX. God, we got, like, we've probably had 3 or 4 Rillaboom VMAXs as well. And sometimes what I used to do at the end of these streams, I'd sort of line the cards up and take a picture for Instagram. I'd never fit them in the frame with the rate of cards we've been pulling these out, especially since we got to the Shiny Star V. Galarian Berserker, Hooper, Milotic, another Eternatus V. So we've got loads of Eternatus Vs, but if anything, we've had more Eternatus V Maxes. Wheezing, no, coughing even. Rusted Shield, and then a Dragapult, not a Dragapult V or anything. And then we've got Toxtricity V and a Toxel. Another Toxel. Gas, not Ghastly. Yeah, no, it is Ghastly. Suicide, Rillaboom, another Zacian V, and then Rose. Oh no, don't fall. Ah, it's too late. They've already fallen. Trying not to have all these fall everywhere, but it's not really working. Because the pile's bigger than I expected them to be. Another Zacian, not Zacian V at this point, and then another one of those Kyogres, and then another Cramorant V. But when it comes to those sort of Kyogres and Reshirams and things, they seemed quite special in the Western set. When we got to the Japanese set, it's almost like, oh, just another one of those. Thwacky, and then Inteleon. Aha! Finally! Okay, so we're going to put those there. We finally got not just Ditto VMAX, but the shiny Ditto shiny Ditto VMAX, the blue Ditto, which looks to be exactly the same artwork as the pink one, even though the blue Ditto V was different to the pink Ditto V. The blue Ditto VMAX seems to be exactly the same as the pink Ditto VMAX. Trubbish, Dark Energy, Gengar, okay, so Eldegoss V, nothing particularly special there. 2 packs left. Pico, Lanoon, Toxicroak, Gurren Berserker. Oh, that's a different Toxtricity VMAX, or is it? Have we come across that one before? I thought it was slightly different than that. And then another... Oh wait, no, that's not Dragapult. And this is our last pack. So we skip through to the good bit. And then we got another Crobat VMAX. And then that Marnie is from a different set. So. Well. I mean, that was not what I was expecting. I mean, I don't even know where to start with showing you everything that we got. Because the piles are ridiculous. So, hang on, okay, let's get some of these out of the way. And we can start going through some of them. Because there's a lot to talk about from this. Just get these regular cards out of the way. Because we can go through and we can have a look at sort of comparisons between the Western and Japanese sets as well. But I mean, the sheer size of the piles of shiny cards from this stream compared to others is ridiculous. I mean, this is just the Japanese. Alright, so let's go and pick out a few sort of special ones, shall we? So, I mean, it's hard to tell what's special anymore. So we had the Inteleon there, which is just the regular Inteleon, not a VMAX, and then you had was that her name? Liss? And then we had the Zacian. The holy sort of colour splash Kyogre. We had Cramorant V. We had the Galarian Lanoon. Where am I going to put that? Over there. We had a Centre Scorcher V. I'm going to run out of space to put all of these everywhere. Bolt, that's just a regular Bolt. And we have the Yveltal We can compare that to the one. And then we had a Crobat V. We had a Centiskorch V Max. And then we had a Zamazenta to go with the Zacian. Another Cramorant V. And we had Indeedee V. Galarian... No room for these. Galarian Weezing. The Eternatus V Max. We had the Grimmsnarl V. Centiskorch, Zacian. The Dragapult V. Toxtricity V. Another Eternatus V Max. Another Eternatus V Max, the black and gold version. Duraludon, Milotic. Another one of those lists. Then we've got the Ditto V. Hooper. Rillaboom V. Galarian Surfetched. Boltund V. No, that wasn't Hooper. That was... What's that? Another well, we got Dragapult V Max. And then we had a Zamazenta. Which one's which? I can never remember Zacian and Zamazenta. Zamazenta is Shield. Yes. Gengar. Okay. Then we had Dubwool V. And then we had another Zamazenta. No, Zacian. Inteleon. Lapras V Max. So we've seen Rillaboom. So Eternatus V as opposed to V Max. Another one of the Cramorant Vs. That's 3 of those we had. Oh, I'm getting my piles all mixed up now. Bear with me. So we had the Reshiram Holy Splash Colour. The Galarian Weezing. So it's Centiskorch V. Bumblebee. Zacian. And the Crobat V Max. Skenta Centiskorch. Another one of the Kyogres there. The Zamazenta V. Ditto V Max. Normal Ditto, not the shiny one. We got the Gossifleur V. Boltund. Lanoon. There's the Ditto V. Normal Ditto, not shiny Ditto. Dragapult V. Zamazenta. Centiskorch V Max. Zacian V. Eternatus V. Another Eternatus V Max. Yveltal. Lapras V. Another Dragapult V Max. Another Kyogre. Another Rillaboom. Another Ditto. And then another Rillaboom V Max. We're still not done. So we'll go through all the Vs and V Maxes as well at some point. So we've got these Scorbunny. Or Cinderace. Another Crobat V Max. Marnie and another Gossifleur V. Oh, I'm getting all these mixed up. That's a V Max, not a V. Gengar. Rillaboom V and V Max again. Boltund V. Crobat V. My piles are just going over here. Inteleon. That's Zamazenta V. Ditto V Max. Kyogre. We can organise these a little bit better and go through them a bit more. Lapras V. Zamazenta V. Because we need to separate the sort of normal shiny with the more sort of standout shinies. So let's put these ones. Oh wait, no, we're still not done. We're still going through more. So let's put these over there, and then we've got the VMAX there, and then another Kyogre there, and then a Dragapult V, then another Rillaboom VMAX, And then an Eternatus V. Toxtricity V. Toxtricity V Max. Ditto V Max. Gossifleur V. Crobat V Max. Zacian V. Then a Rillaboom and a Suicide in there. Right, so these go over here, along with I need the dividers, but I can't find them at the moment because I've got so much stuff. Right, here. Oh, okay. So these are all the VMAXs. And then these are all the V. These are the sort of special, shiny, holy type cards. There's just some full art trainer cards. And then there's a few just standout ones that I wanted to keep aside for me. And that's just with the Japanese. Now we have to go through the English. So, Crobat V, Ditto V Max, Kyogre, Crobat V Max. Then we've just got the regular shinies, Alcremie V Max, Double V, Alcremie V Max. Cramorant V Max, Phalanx V, Reshiram, Indeedee V, Morpeko V, Delmise V Max, Dubwool V, Kyogre, Celebi, I'll put that aside for me, Ditto V, Delmise V, Toxtricity V Max, Pokekid, Skylar, Greedent V, oh wait, I'm getting these mixed up again, Toxtricity V Max, Grookey, Morpeko V, Yveltal, Dubwool V, Senscorch V Max, Thievul, Ditto V Max, Ditto V, Phalanx V, Rillaboom V Max, Delmise V Max, Morpeko V, Ditto V, Reshiram, Greedent V, Grookey. Just put that one aside for a sec. And then Cramorant V. But there's more. Still not finished. Still got piles to go. Delmise V, Toxtricity V Max, Delmise V, Greedent V, is that it for V and V Max? Yes, that's it. Apart from the Eevee V Max that we never actually opened up. Right then, we can have a look through at the V Max and more standout cards that we had today. So we had the Reshiram, which was the sort of holy type colour explosion, which we had in both the English and Japanese forms. And then we had Yveltal in both the English and Japanese forms. How many of those did we have? Oh god, they're all falling all over the place. So there we go. Both English and Japanese. And then the Kyogres. We had loads of those. In fact, loads of them. We had 2, 4, 5 in Japanese and 2 in English. In terms of the Vs and VMAXs, so, oh actually, first of all, we had the full art trainer cards as well. But then, so let's go through these, and let's see if we can match up V and VMAX together, and how many we had of them. So we had a Greedent V, a Delmise, 2 of those, Cramorant, more Greedent, Ditto V, more Pico, Phalanx, another Ditto, Dubwool, another more Pico, Ditto but not normal Ditto, shiny Ditto, another Delmise, another Greedent, another Dubwool, another Morpeko, Indeedee. We had another Phalanx, another Dubwool. We had a Crobat V. We had another Cramorant V, but now we had 3 of those. So we had 1 in English, 3 in Japanese. So we had a Zacian V. We had Gossifleur V. Toxtricity V. Eternatus V, Dragapult V, very much running out of space. I'll put Zacian and Zamazenta together. So we've got Zamazenta V, Lapras V, another Zacian, Boltund, Crobat V, Crobat V. So we got the English and the Japanese version of that. Another Boltund. So we've got a Rillaboom V, another Gossifleur, another Ditto, this time in Japanese, and the normal pink Ditto. We've got another Rillaboom V, another Lapras V, another Eternatus V, another Zacian V, another Dragapult V. Where did I put Dragapult? Over there. Another Ditto V, another Gossifleur V, another Zamazenta V, got a Centiskorch V, another Eternatus V, a Dubwool V but a different kind, not the same as the one that we saw in the West, although it does look like it's still got the same moves, but one's shiny and one's non-shiny. Well, it's still a shiny card, but not the shiny Pokemon. Another Zamazenta V, another Boltund V, another Rillaboom V, another one of the Dittos, this time the Japanese version of the blue Ditto. Another Toxtricity V, another Dragapult V. We got a Grimmsnarl V, Indeedee V, but different to the one that we had over here. Again, it looks like it might be the same card, just one's a shiny version of Indeedee and one's a non-shiny. We've got a Crobat, another Crobat V, and another Centiskorch V. And now into the VMAXs. We had the EV VMAX, but no EVV, because there wasn't one in either Shining Fates or Shiny Star V, I don't think. So we've got a Toxtricity VMAX in English, and I think there's different versions of this for the Japanese. Delmise VMAX, Rillaboom VMAX, again a different type, which we'll look at in a sec. Ditto VMAX, a Centiskorch VMAX, another Toxtricity VMAX, and another Toxtricity VMAX, and another Delmise VMAX. Got a Cramorant VMAX, Alcremie VMAX, although we didn't see Alcremie V. Crobat VMAX, Ditto VMAX, another Crobat VMAX, but the Japanese version. Shiny Ditto VMAX. Okay, so here, this is the difference again. So the Japanese version of Toxtricity VMAX was sort of the non-shiny version, and the English version was the shiny version. And the same with Rillaboom. So Rillaboom, their VMAX was sort of non-shiny in Japanese, and then shiny in Western. Another Crobat VMAX, but then there are 2 different versions of that. In the Japanese version, there is the shiny and non-shiny. Ditto VMAX, more Rillaboom VMAXs, more Crobat VMAXs, Dragapult VMAX, and then we got Eternatus VMAX, Centiskorch VMAX, but different again. Oh, hang on. Piles are going everywhere. So obviously there's the Western Centiskorch VMAX, which is shiny. And then the Japanese one, which is not. Ditto VMAX. More Crobat VMAXs. We've got the Lapras VMAX. So we did actually have Lapras V and Lapras VMAX. But I think there was a different Lapras V, which is closer to the design of that one. And then another Dragon Ball VMAX. And then we've got the Eternatus VMAXs. And then the Centiskorch V again. And then we had our 3 Charizards. So, I mean, that was quite a haul, I have to say. I've been seeing them all laid out in front of me as well. It's quite impressive just how many cards, desirable cards, we were able to pull out today. So, I mean, there's nothing much more to do other than I've got a lot of sorting out to do. I've got a lot of putting these in protective semi-rigids, figuring out if any of them are worth being sent off to be graded, and then you may see them again quite soon in a graded video. But until then, there's nothing much more to do than to thank you for being with me for the nearly 3.5 hours as we went through these. I mean, Shining Fates was impressive, but Shiny Star V was amazing. That was an amazing set to do. And thank you for joining me as I went through them. So you can catch me on another stream on Retro Wednesdays. For those of you that don't know, that if you haven't been on a Retro Wednesdays before, same time on Wednesday. I can't tell you what it's going to be yet, but you'll find out tomorrow. But until then, I'll see you all later. Have a good night, everyone, or have a good day, or if depending on what time of the world you are, what part of the world you are. I'll see you soon.